things like a summary. Who thinks I can do a summary for us? Does anybody feel up to the job?
My windows would stop jumping around the screen so I can read my notes.
I know the problem. I actually watched the end of last week's stream just to remind myself how far we got and what we were doing.
We burned all of Tahir's clothes.
Yeah, because you had a fashion disagreement, right?
It was an accident.
We thought it was the right thing to do.
Right.
We knew it was the right thing to do.
It would restore the balance between the darkness and the light in the universe if you burnt it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can we recover some darkness points from burning his clothes?
You know, why not? I'm supposed to be partial, right? But why not? I like that idea. So let me take off 2 darkness points. Hey, so still 2 digits. Still 10.
Good things comes to those who burn clothes.
Apparently. As long as you don't burn any books. So, other than that, what else can you remember, other than burning stuff?
We did rescue some stuff.
You did?
Yeah.
And we're still hunting down Tubra.
And you were still looking for Tubra.
The Martin Tubra.
Yes, we went to a funeral procession.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bit of a fight.
Yeah, okay.
Attacked by cowardly snipers.
How dare they? How dare they, these cowardly snipers?
I know.
That is utterly terrible. But you were looking for Tubra, and how did you go about finding her in the end? What did that have to do with this funeral procession?
We were there to meet Yala, weren't we?
Yeah.
We came to the aid of a funeral procession, befriended them a bit, met up at the post-funeral, I don't know if you call it a wake or a post-funeral party.
Reception.
Discussed things a bit. Yeah, well, you know. And then I believe they gave us the name of a place where we could find her, or him, I can't remember. Which just down a corridor, which 2 of their people had fled to at the start of the gunfight.
Yeah, what sort of place was it that you went to? Sorry, I'm just trying to sort something out here.
It was a bathhouse.
It was a bathhouse.
That was it, yes. We were going to a bathhouse, yes.
Kitty is commencing.
We'd met there where we managed to persuade them to meet with us.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if we'd actually finally got to meet with them or whether we were about to.
You were just about to. You went into the bathhouse, you met with somebody who called herself Walla and said she was a partner of Tubra. And she said, but before I let you into the secret room where she's hiding, you need to assure me of your good intentions. And at that point I said...
I don't remember a mention of a secret room, but I'll take it.
Well, the room where she is. It's not a secret room. But the room where she is, which is, as far as you're concerned, unknown. So we might as well call it secret. The point was that, I said at the end of the last session, this is where we're going to make a cut, so you can have a really good story to tell Walla about the reason why you want to see Tubra. And hi, Mohammed. We've got our regular watch again, straight from Cairo. He says. Could say, welcome, Mohammed. So,
welcome, Mohammed.
What's the good story that you've got? Why would you like to see my partner?
Oh, there was also a mention of a palace, wasn't there? I can't remember if that was from her or whether it was a bit earlier.
I'll recap some of that information when you hopefully meet Tubra in a minute. But the point is basically, yes, that what is it called? The stasis pods were basically being delivered to the palace of the smuggler prince, whatever you want to call him, Liat Dolkasar. And they were there... Dolkasar, yeah. They were inspected by somebody in his employ called Jar Jar. And no, it's not a Gungan.
That's never going to get old.
No, I know. Sorry, I just can't resist it. Jar Jar Binks is just one of the worst characters I've ever seen. Alongside with Shmi Skywalker.
Oh, she was awful.
Yeah, and the actress just... Anyway, don't want to get into ranting mode on that one. That's a different story from a different time. So, what are you going to tell her? And I'm going to tell you a bit more about the Smuggler Prince and stuff later. And the wedding and all that. If you hear some singing in the background, that's my daughter.
We have a shared interest in our fight against oppression.
Uh-huh.
Do we?
And what we are aiming to achieve is something that she will have a great interest in. Because I believe, or we
And
believe,
what
it's
would
something
that be?
she is involved in.
By the way, if you want to kick Razak under the table or whisper in his ear, feel free to do so.
Well, I'm trying not to say too much because we don't know whether we trust this person. It's just a person, isn't it?
She's just a person standing in front of you, depending how you want to picture it, either stark
Who
but
claims to be a
naked
friend of Tubra.
or in a towel, and who claims to be a friend of Tubra. And said, you have come here to see Tubra, I'll lead her to you. No, I'll lead you to her if you tell me what it's all about.
We have common.
But how can we trust you then? After all, you could be working for others who are against this meeting we hope to have with Tubra.
Well, if he is, I'll kill him.
Her.
But
If-
sorry, wrong character.
We're not saying that out loud, by the way. I hope.
If Tubra weren't here, then there would not be, she would not be in any danger, right? Because you've come here to see her. Therefore, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
So
And what we want to speak to Tubra about is something that's between us and her.
you will need to give me a bit more than that.
We have common cause. People were taken.
We know.
We want them back and to punish the people that took them.
There she is.
She was sleeping in the bath.
Oh, pussycat. Hello, pussycat.
Come on, you need to show Kitty on camera now. She was apparently sleeping in the bathtub just now.
Oh, well, it's cool, isn't it?
Well, it's cool if you have a fur like that. Oh, look at that. Hello, Kitty.
So she is fine.
She is fucked. And Big Kitty is not around, is he?
No,
Yeah, our other cat hardly ever comes in these days.
I saw him early afternoon.
Yeah, no, when it's warm, they just stay out all night, don't they?
Only for food and occasionally morning cuddles. He comes in. But anyway, so you need to tell me a bit more than that.
Yeah.
You will appreciate, as you say, that Tubra has tried to evade certain people, and I just want to make sure you're not those certain people.
Well, we're friends of Yala. And she has pointed us in this direction to speak to Tubra.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure you could get word back to her in case you don't trust us.
Do me a manipulation, I give you +2.
After all, recently, a short while ago, we saved her life in the attack in the Hamam. So yeah, I'm just trying to find a character sheet.
I have
Manipulation.
6 if you'd like a bonus.
Well, if you want to jump in there and say a few words, you will have a much better role than me.
Not just a
right.
roll, but gift of the gap. We've got 2 people definitely who have the gift of the gap here. Possibly more.
Yes.
Basically, people we value were taken, and we were here to rescue them. One of those people has been killed. We will hunt down those responsible and make them pay. We have common cause. We helped in what's that place called? By
Basin.
Bay Basin.
People that take slaves and treat people as animals. Yeah, are awful.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I'm Zenithian. That's so very pretty, but yeah,
Nothing rules anything.
You and your prettiness, really. You're banking on it far too much on your good looks.
No, there's a hidden joke. I was randomly talking to myself, and Sue happened to hear me say, "I'm so pretty," and then laughs. So every time I do it, I'm making Sue smile. Look.
Yeah, she's definitely smiling. So let's have a roll from you then, manipulation. And as I said,
Frank?
+2. Oh, yes.
Before they do that, I'd like to use my mystic powers to mind reader for a minute or two to see if anything comes across.
A mind read. Ooh.
Yep.
That means I have to look up what mind reader is. So, mind reader. You can read someone else's thoughts for a minute or
surface
so.
thoughts, really.
Yeah. Okay, on you go. You must be within target. You are close range.
Close
That's
range,
a
yeah.
mystic powers roll, and I get a darkness point.
Any modifiers, positive or negative?
I give you
Flat roll.
+1 because
Oh, cool.
you're very close to each other and you've been
Okay.
talking for a while.
Here goes nothing.
You're tuned in. Ah, okay. Surface thought she seems to be quite protective of somebody.
But no indication of any intent to deceive or any malice or anything like
There's no malices, just caution.
that. Woohoo!
I'm having problems rolling and doing anything with the character sheet at the moment.
Seems to work.
Yeah,
that
things keep icons and stuff disappear. I'm just going to reconnect.
Okay. Or refresh. You can always refresh. F5. Right. So you
Oh, it thinks I'm logged out.
you seem to have convinced her. I might have to kick you. Hang on.
No, as in when I tried to log back in, it said I'm not logged in.
All right.
As in to the portal. So maybe that was it.
Maybe I can ban you.
Okay.
It's a 4, but
Not yet. Wasn't too rude yet. So, yeah, you seem to have convinced her. She sort of hesitates. She goes, right. How many of you are there right now? 5?
I think it's all of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a bit more pandit. So she says, right. 2 of you can come with us. Come with me. You can choose who.
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll say it.
Shotgun.
So that's Tahir and Khalil, yeah?
Yep.
Good. I'm just reading a book by Khalil, by the way. Khalil Gibran.
All right.
Do you know him?
Not personally, no.
He was not the inspiration behind the name Khalil for you then. Okay.
No, I can't remember if I got it from. I think I just pulled it out of midair and assumed it was vaguely Coriolis-y. So I must have heard it from somewhere.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely fine. It's good name. Good book as well. Called The Prophet, if anybody wants to read it. Written about 1920, 23, something like that.
Oh.
Lebanese guy.
Oh, do you know what? I'm a huge fan of that book.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I've got 2 copies of it. I discovered it about the age of 17, and someone gave me a copy that he had for about 30 years.
I only just discovered it, so I'm enjoying it. It's a bit preachy at point, but that's the whole point.
Oh, definitely.
But it's a good read, actually. And it's a short little section at a time, so it only takes 3-4 minutes to read a section. So, that's your book club recommendation for today. Coming back to this. So 2 of you are going to go back. The rest of you can enjoy the facilities. Or are you hanging about and staring at people?
I'm going to take the opportunity for a bath.
Sounds good. You haven't had a bath like that in a long time, because this is a really nice place. So, the other 2.
Eavesdropping among some of the other people there.
Okay. Eavesdropping. What they're going to talk about. Well, I have to make something up. So, the other 2 are being led towards the back, to another room, a private room. And you're let in. There's a secret knock on the door, you reckon. There's a rhythmic sort of knock. And then you step in and you see Tubra. I do have a picture of her somewhere. Let me see whether I can throw her on here. So at least you know what she looks like. I'm going to put her straight in the middle of the monolith. So if you zoom right, no, that's rotating. If you zoom right in, you might be able to see what she looks like roughly. So she's got some nice tattoos on her. Of course, she has got fewer clothes than that. And she doesn't wear any earphones right now. Can you see her?
Yeah.
Yep.
And she looks a bit cautiously, but Waller says, I think they're genuine. They want to help us.
Hello.
Hello.
Good day to you.
So who are you? Toothbrushes. Everything I'm going to say is toothbrush, unless I preface it with Waller. Who are you?
El Fadil.
And you?
I am Kirill Ibn Al-Haji. It's a privilege to meet you. You've been a hard person to find.
Well, that is sort of the point. What do you want with me?
Oh, we're hoping you can speak with us.
Your name was given to us as a person who may be able to help us, and we hope if you can help us, we can help you.
But with what?
We are trying to find some people who were abducted from Coriolis and brought down to the surface here in some pods. People smugglers, the most despicable and unpleasant of people.
I might know a thing or two about that, yes. Why don't you take a seat?
Thank you.
And they are actually robed now, let's just put it like that. And they've got some tea on the side going. She offers you some tea.
Oh, fantastic. Honey?
So what's the news from out there?
There's quite some disquiet. I don't know if you've heard, but there are rumours that one of the emissaries has gone missing. I don't know if you've heard that.
Of course, yes. Even that news comes to us, even here.
We have reason to believe he was taken in one of those pods down here. So our mission is of quite some import.
Yeah, I see. Right, yeah, we have been handling, you probably know that I used to work for Hamam.
Yes.
Yes. Sadly, that company appears to be no longer in business, shall we say.
I heard somebody seems to be tying up loose ends. Let's put it that way. Yeah, we used to get deliveries. Sorry?
Thoroughly Nottingham.
Okay. Still didn't catch that, sorry. Need subtitles.
I was saying those loose ends have been thoroughly knotted.
Ah, thoroughly knotted. Right. Not just tied up, but knotted. Yes, or nixed, you could say. Yeah, well, as you know, I used to be part of the Hassam's crew with my men, with my crew, and we used to transport quite a few of these pods, as you called them, when they were coming in from the down the river. We always delivered them to Leo Dolcasar's palace.
Indeed.
Yeah, and I think from what I heard and from what they normally deal with, I think there were definitely some slaves in the pods, but sometimes they would even deliver walking slaves to the same place. And some of the units were black marked and some of them were white marked.
We believe that some of the people taken may have been mystics.
Oh, were they? Oh, I don't know about that.
We're not 100% sure, but there is some evidence toward that, yes.
Yeah, there seems to be very elaborate for slave trading to actually put them in stasis pods.
Yes. High value targets, you might say.
You might say that, yes.
Well, I did.
But I don't know why. I mean, slaves are just slaves, aren't they?
I'm sure that people who go to such trouble probably aren't simple slave traders.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. But yeah, what else do you want to know about it? And can you tell me something else about my crew? They've gone into hiding, but I haven't heard anything from them.
Do we know anything about our crew?
Well, you know that Niobe, her partner, was killed. She might know that or she might not. Or her boss, if you like, her employer at Hassam's. Then you know that two people were hiding at, what was it called? At the dogfighting place. Shut out or something like that, I can't remember. Shamut's, that's what it was. Shamut's dogfighting place, and two people were basically found dead there. You know that much. Yeah, and the tip is also you could mention that you saved the slave, the boy. It was actually a boy.
Yeah.
But
So, explain about our crew. Mentioned how we have rescued one boy who was sent back to the station.
well, that was very good of you, but I think the problem might be bigger than that.
Well, no, it's like I would end slavery tomorrow, now if I could.
It's a drop of water in the ocean, but we do what we can.
Trouble is,
Right.
if all the people taken have been sent to this palace, either they are still there or they've been taken from there somewhere else.
Now,
So,
look, I wasn't involved with it, but I have heard that some people were sold as slaves on the markets here and to the monolith, and some others would have been carted onward somewhere in the Sultra marshes. Yeah, I overheard when we were delivering somebody, I overheard a conversation between them saying that they had to lug more of them into the marshes.
That's where I think the ones who are after are taken. The ones who are sold are the ones who...
So which ones are you after? The black ones or the white ones?
It was the... Damn it. It was white ones, wasn't it? The ones who were marked as mystic.
You think I remember? Right. Well, there have been, I think it was 6 deliveries in total that we made, and 6 with black crosses. And the first 4 runs contained 3 pods each. Then after that became more. I think there must have been, if I remember my bookkeeping correctly, 26 with the whatever the mystic crosses were.
Now, the thing is, these people, we know they've been kidnapped against their will, and now they've been sold as slaves. Is there anything that authorities can do?
To be honest, it's very fair to be willingly kidnapped.
It's very rare.
I mean, this was an OC question to the GM.
All right, if it's to the GM, I need to change my voice, right? So, the authorities down here, in the outer reaches of the monolith or the conglomerate, are very much the private security people. And they benefit from the slave trade, so they will not necessarily do a lot. A lot of people here around the monolith benefit from the slave trade. Even though officially it shouldn't happen, it is very much accepted practice.
So it's technically illegal, but they tend to turn a blind eye.
Yeah, very much.
Is there anything which would be so outrageously illegal that they couldn't? Like if, I don't know, somebody really massively important would turn up for sale or something like that they would be forced to act? Or even then, would they just, turn the other cheek, as it were?
Well, if an adjudicator from Coriolis came down, they might assist them, but you're not sure.
Right. Okay.
I'm betting that what would probably happen is it's a complete misunderstanding. We were acting under the belief that they were legitimate. Oh dear. Here you go, let's release them.
They claimed they wanted to be sold. How were we supposed to know?
They volunteered as slaves, absolutely. They volunteered. They said, please, they've called us up and said, please kidnap me.
Yep.
Yeah, so, it was, I think... Yeah, on you go.
I was going to say free food and drink if you're a slave.
Indeed, you don't have to think about anything.
I'm thinking right, I think we might need access to the computer systems of that palace.
No, it could be tricky. The last time I was there, the security had really been stepped up at that palace. You may have heard that this Dolkasar has got ideas above his station, and he's trying to marry off his son to a wealthy Sinithian's daughter. In fact, they're actually preparing a banquet right now to announce the deal. But they definitely stepped it up, and they were even refusing to let us in. It took a while for us to get in because they were expecting some important foodstuff delivery or something. But that was
I would expect that transfers of supplies like this would probably not be going through the front door, if for plausible deniability, if nothing else. So, are there by any chance any entrances that you were told to use that may not be quite as heavily secured as the main entrance?
Well, there is the back entrance, and that's all our delivery went there. It's on the lower floor.
Ching.
But yeah, that's exactly. I was there anyway, and then the security had been stepped up there too. So it's going to be tricky to hack into their system. I'm sure they've done the same on the systems. But yeah, of course, what I'm really worried about is this, there seems to be an assassin knocking off the Hamam crew. And are they still out there? Have you been able to shake them to get rid of them? Because I really would love to know that, or alternatively escape from here.
We're not sure if there's an actual assassin, but yes, as you said, those loose ends are being tied up, whether by some nefarious assassin or just by other means. We're not sure.
She
Well,
looks
I don't think,
across.
I'm not sure it's an assassin. I just think it's their private security.
Yeah, that's another possibility.
Wala, the lady who took you there, reaches over, takes the hand of Tubra, and looks at you and says, "We just want to get out of this horrible place. Is there anything you can do to help us?"
Well, once our mission is complete, we do have our own ship, so
Now the thing is, we might be able to.
we could possibly arrange safe transport to Coriolis to you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But if it's soon, because we don't really want to stay here a little longer. If you were able to find us, I'm sure other people can find us here.
Now,
Did we mention that I can't remember. Did we mention that that funeral was under attack, and that's how we got the name, or was that? Because that's another thing which points to not so much sneaky, underhanded assassins as just full-out private security death squads. Because that funeral, there were no sneaky black-clad ninja assassins there. It was just snipers from the private security, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, the Nestera Defense Force are trying to combat the rebels. That's a well-known thing. That's not new.
Well, people who combat rebels don't normally go out trying to assassinate people in funerals, to be fair.
Well, things are
normally
heating
just,
up, and if you know that the rebels are there. But anyway,
Well,
you have to be aware
the
of
rest.
this being a powder keg ready to explode,
Powder kegs are fun.
especially after the events in Bay Basin.
Thanks.
Events? What? No, nothing about that. So, yeah, well, I've pretty much told you all I know now, but if you're still looking for your friend, hopefully you'll either find them in the palace or you'll find them out in the marshes.
That means we do rather have to go to the palace to check there first, doesn't it? Or I suppose we could go out to the marshes and see if anyone's there, but if they're not, it doesn't necessarily mean much.
Well, I think the party where they announce the marriage deal is going to be tonight, so that might give you a chance to sneak into the palace.
Oh, I do sort of love going undercover as servants and cooks and the like.
Undercovers.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? Other than getting you out of here, is there anything else that we could potentially help you with? You've been very helpful with your information, so we'd like to return the favour if we can.
Well, if you can find who's been killing the crew, my crew or the Hamam crew, and take care of them, that would be a big favour repaid. But other than that, yeah, if you can help us to get out of here and find somewhere safe to be.
I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? I mean, we return and pass that information on. I'll ask, if we need to contact you in a hurry, is there, some other person that we speak to other than your friend here? If we need to contact you about passing information about who's been killing your crew or getting you out of here?
Leave a message with Tamina,
Excellent, we should
the
do
owner
that.
of the Hamam, and then she will pass something on and I'll be in touch.
Thank you. You have been very generous with your time.
May the icons bless your path.
Well, hopefully they will. And
Okay.
stay safe.
Stay healthy
Always wear a mask.
and keep your distance. So
Anyone else
hang on,
want to add?
let me recap this very briefly. So the white marked pods.
So an ice cream van outside.
Nice ringtone. Okay.
If
So I
if
just
we
wanted
want
to recap
to
one
get
thing.
into the palace,
And let me just finish this one thing. The white marked pods are separated from the black marked units, and from your memory, the black ones were the mystics, and the white ones get kept by at the palace, and the black ones seem to be passed onwards. Yeah, so the mystics seem to have a different final destination, which she thinks is in the marshes somewhere. The Saltra marshes used to be one of the most beautiful parts of the city around here, but it got flooded.
Budget marshes.
Hmm.
so the white mark ones don't go to the palace. So do we need to go to the palace if that's not what we're interested in?
The white marked ones stay at the palace. The black ones are delivered to the palace, but as far as she knows, are going to be are passed on from there.
Yeah,
So
so
they're
yeah, so the
passed
black
away.
ones are the mystics, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you worked out previously, I think. I hope I got this right.
Yeah. So the black ones are passed on, and therefore they won't be at the palace.
They won't stay at the palace anyway. So what are you going to do? Are you going to try and sneak into the banquet? Are you trying to sneak into as guests? Or are you going to sneak in through the back door? Or ignore the whole thing, go straight to these marshes? Observe the place from the outside? Lots of options.
I wonder
How big is that
if we need
marsh?
to go back
area?
to see Yala.
You want to go back and see her? Okay. Now, if I go to the map for a minute, here actually on the map.
I'm just thinking, if we need to get into the palace, we need roles, the means of getting in. So therefore, we need some sort of inside job, or someone who can sort of put a name stand as guards or cooks or servants or whatever.
She might be able to
Or
help you
get
with
us
that.
on the guest list.
Remember, you have a couple of potential other avenues you can follow. You have a famous and very pretty Zenithian with you.
The problem is that we're probably known amongst some people after we've been targeted and our boat got blown up.
Yeah, possibly. You also have a contact who basically is your mission giver for this whole thing. Yeah, Judge Nigelia Kurahan. Kurahan, I think it was. She might be able to help you. Or Akuba Kosha, the judicator.
She may even be able to arrange invites, but that could draw attention. If Coriolis magistrate suddenly rang up and said, "Any chance you can get my friends in?"
If you wanted to go via Iyala, you probably, as you were saying, you probably would be more likely to end up as a delivery person, as a cook, as a whatever, server for food, musician. You have a musician amongst you.
We could take multiple approaches, so we could maybe gain entry through multiple means.
Yeah. Okay.
If those want to be on the official guest list, then maybe that's through someone important. Whereas, for others who want to sort of be in a more sort of servant style role, go through Yala.
Yeah.
Dr. here will appreciate the excuse to buy more clothes.
So this party is tonight.
I'll be perfectly happy to go in as a waiter if need be.
Yeah,
So
I
wait.
can go in as a musician.
You need a new
Okay,
instrument,
right.
don't you? Did you burn
Yeah,
yours?
I'll have to go and buy a new oud first.
You have to make sure it doesn't go out of tune immediately because it's a freshly strung instrument.
I might buy a second-hand one.
Yeah.
Just as long as it's not highly strung, we'll be okay.
Okay. Anything else? So you're going to get in touch with Iyala. You're asking to try and get you some clues on how to get in as cook, as server, waiter, as musician, anything else?
Security guard, basically. Security guard, I wouldn't mind being, because that might give me an excuse to have a weapon.
Yeah, security guard is going to be managed by somebody else, so that's going to be much more difficult. Iyala says right away.
maybe I could reach
They're
out.
likely to be very highly vetted as well.
Indeed. Because they have very important Zenithian guests as well as Stolkas are here. Much
Yeah, I'm
easier to be a
thinking-
food delivery person.
The other option is I could try and reach out to my father and my family and see if I can get an invite, as I happen to be in the area. What with coming from a rich Zenithian family.
Mm-hmm. You can probably do that.
Mm-hmm. So it means we're in multiple positions around the place, which is probably perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, see what Yala can do with getting some of us in that way.
Is anybody getting in touch with the judge or with Akuba? Or is that something you don't want to do?
Let's get in contact with the judge and tell her what we know so far.
Mm-hmm. So you're providing an update, okay?
Yeah.
Because she sent us a message, didn't she?
She did send you a
Okay.
message at the beginning of last session, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to see it again?
Oh, there we go. Continue the
Continue the
investigation no matter the costs. We are onto something much bigger than just the whereabouts of the mystics. The missing nightingale must be found. Without its song, all is lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, I found it by scrolling up enough.
Hey, well done. I thought you actually had written that down somewhere in your own notes.
Now I just scrolled up.
Okay. Useful to have the chat log, isn't it?
Yep.
Definitely useful. Past all the failures here. And all the bleeding guts and stuff. Okay, so you provide an update. You get a short acknowledgement. And you get a message from Akuba as well, saying, if you need an invitation, let me know.
I think anyone who is going to get an invite from arranged via Kuba is probably going to raise interest and probably be closely watched. So if a couple of us want to do it, that's fine. But I probably think going in under the covers as servants and waiters and cooking assistants, etc.,
All
is
right,
going to bring much less attention.
let's make a note here. Saya wants to go in as musician.
I think Tahir's already a celebrity, so he's going to attract attention whatever he does.
Khalil wants to go in as waiter.
I'd be happy to be a waiter or some kind of, serving person or a barman or something like that.
Wants to strut his fame. Right. Aaron, do you want to go in? Do you want to wait outside?
I think using my previous bartending experience with some assistance to, because that way at least I'm probably not well known yet, but I could.
You're building up a reputation.
Still
maybe
reminds
not
me
reputation.
of,
I could bartend at dogfighting rings.
It still reminds me of IT Crowd, that scene.
Okay. Razak, how do you want
Must
to
be
get
on
in?
the bar. I don't want to be a delivery person because they're not expected to stay. So it will need to be some role inside, maybe a waiter.
Waiter.
Yeah.
All
They
right.
claim to have skills in waiting.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Potentials.
5. Nobody's logged in as test player, are they? No. Sorry, it's just confusing me because the inactive account is showing. Right, so that's 5 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the list, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, now Yala basically says, oh, I can definitely get you on some lists. It might be tricky and you have to act the part and you can't take any weapons. Not openly, anyway, but hopefully I can get you in.
Accelerator pistols are really, you can hide them amongst the fruit.
If you're bringing food, but you'll probably be scanned and you'll probably be checked. by the security guys. Now, if you had a small or tiny weapon, I might let you try at least to conceal it. Or if you had one built into your cybernetic arm.
Knives. Small.
Are knuckle dusters an actual thing?
Well, I'm thinking probably weapons like the crickets and stuff like that. The very small weapon.
Yeah, you can try, but there's a risk that you're going to be caught.
I'm happy going without my pistols.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going to leave them? Because you don't really have a base anymore, seeing as you don't have a boat anymore.
I'm sure if we asked our friends nicely, but
Yeah.
they could.
Yala can look after
Oh,
mine. for me.
Yala can sort you out for that, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah,
Anything
I'll go
else?
in without weapons. Hopefully I can pick up something when I'm there.
Anything else you want to prepare?
Go to the icons for success in disguise or infiltration. Trying to think what's suitable.
Do you want to disguise your appearance in any way? Do you think you're going to be
Yeah,
famous
a little
enough?
bit, yeah, because we may be recognised. You know, we've got an assassin out hunting us down, so there will be some that know us, and we've done a lot of things in other places.
Hmm.
I shall get a new scarf.
I'll comb my hair.
Now, if you get invited
Okay.
as a famous person to here, you may be able to bring one of your own security guards.
That's what I was thinking.
So Rozak might actually be better placed as that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that would allow me to be
I can
armed.
have Razak as security guard who could carry a weapon for me, so that if crap hits the fan, I would at least have a weapon.
Let's have a look. What can I allow?
It's more like a cellular pistol would be perfect.
No, you cannot take any small fire, so small arms. You can, if you like, you can take a baton or something like that, but that's about it.
What about an expandable staff?
Yeah, you can probably get away with that.
That's not a it's not an energized weapon,
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
it is something tiny that gets bigger.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're going as a waiter, Mohammed says, you could take some steak knives in. Do you know the film Mystery Men?
Yeah,
Yeah, the Blue Raja
indeed.
with his cutlery tray. Fun film, that.
Do you know what? I actually watched that yesterday.
Really? Very silly.
Yeah,
film.
I saw it on Amazon, and I was like, really? This is here?
Yeah,
Ah, such a good film.
you got it on DVD. It's just fun.
Yeah, fun film. Maybe not good.
Okay, so you are approaching this and you're taking an expandable staff. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Right. Anything else you want to do? Like write your last will and testament before you go in?
I'll be uttering quick preparatory prayers to the merchant
Yeah, pray to the merchant as well.
Mm-hmm.
and
Great.
the dancer.
Your icon is in charge of musical instruments, so probably the dancer.
Good. You do that. You want to make sure you've got a really good performance.
Which is the one for blagging?
Blagging.
For what?
Manipulation, the merchant.
Yeah, I
Merchant.
think I'll pray to the merchant as well.
You're good.
Oh, that expandable staff is really quick to use, isn't it? Bloody hell. Initiative +2. Wow.
Yeah. Especially if you extend it into somebody's face. Push the telescopic button and just shoots out and hits them on the nose. Right, so right. I think I'm ready to let you go in. Kuba says, sends another message once you say, "Oh yeah, can you get me on the guest list?" She says, "Oh yeah, you can meet me at 7 o'clock outside the palace."
Stand him up.
I also think we might, if we could arrange some sort of vehicle to be outside that we can get into and drive away at great speed, I think that might be.
Bit tricky here. There are not so many vehicles around. There are some smallish carts and a couple of rickshaws and stuff. But okay, let's have a look whether she's lucky enough to be able to organize it for you.
I like any plan which involves somebody needing a getaway car. That's good, that is.
Oh yeah, she has got her own motorized rickshaw ready to go. So you are safe, you think. Right. The evening approaches, or the day approaches. If you want to go clothes shopping, you might have to spend a good deal of money on this to have appropriate clothes for such a party.
I just need a waiter's
How much are
outfit.
you
It's not
thinking?
that expensive.
Yeah.
Are you thinking around the 1,000 mark?
Yeah, for you, I'm thinking about the 1,000 mark. For the others, we're probably looking at 100 or so.
So shall I knock off 1,000?
Yeah, you knock off 1,000.
Make it 1,400.
Pocket change for you, right?
No, I'll buy my own clothes.
100, yeah. Okay, I'll mark up 100. Oh. In fact, remember, we picked up. Did we share the money we picked up off those guards?
Yeah.
Was it what you
I've
picked
not-
off?
I've knocked off 100 for my waiter's outfit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm buying some respectable looking clothes that haven't been dropped in a river.
Mm-hmm.
I've spent so much for crazy my life.
Now, what you get from Iyala, she provides you with some papers with different names, fake names. So if you like, you can just pick a fake name yourself. Or I can give you one, if you prefer.
Yeah.
Is that including me or everyone else?
It's
I
for the
think I'm a-
people who are pretending to be waiters.
Okay.
Go for it.
You go for it, he says. All right, so
Yeah.
let's have a...
I should just point out, I never said Khalil was my real name, but if you're going to give me another alias, I'm fine with that.
No, it's because she has got somebody on the list already, you see.
Great, okay.
You're going to be called... that's a bit much. I can't call you that. That's close enough.
Coriolis
Kalaf.
Ken.
Kalaf.
Uh,
Khalil Kalaf.
Kalaf,
Kalaf.
how are you spelling that?
As in the chat.
Oh, sorry, I was just looking on my character sheet to update it. I didn't see it.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Saya is going to be called... What shall we call her? Niazi. And Aaron is going to be called Yusuf. With one F, actually, not two Fs.
I'll need a name as well.
You can go as yourself. If you're going with a Cooper.
No, my name, just in case someone recognises my name.
Okay, you want another name. What shall we call you? Shall we call you Aziz?
Mm-hmm.
How are you spelling that?
It's in the chat.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is.
Everybody got a name? Everybody who needs one, that is.
So Razak is going as is.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
Come as you are, don't come at all. Come as is. Come as is. Doesn't quite work. Anyway. Oh, just getting my score update here. Germany apparently scored a goal. Unfortunately, it was an own goal against France.
Okay.
Well, you know, it shows they're making an effort.
Yeah, they really try.
Favourites, aren't they, France?
Well, I don't think they're favourite after this. France are favourites.
France are tournament favourites.
Portugal, probably on there somewhere. We'll see. So, our delivery people, you arrive a bit early because you need to set up, etc. So you're probably there from about 6ish. Is there anything else you want to do other than shopping, praying, eating, stashing some weapons close by?
We need information and a plan. Once we go in, what do we do?
Scout out the place.
Yeah, I mean, is there any information on this palace already available? Public information showing where, you know, what it looks like, even if it's just googling, you know, photos of the place.
It's a very, very old palace. It used to be one of the most beautiful buildings, definitely, here in this whole place. Then it fell into disrepair, but it has been done up again. And today you can see that there's a red carpet rolled out. There's lots of very, very rare flowers, jungle flowers, and even some from other planets decorating the entranceway. There are lots of guard people. There are a couple of journalists hanging about, trying to do sort of the gossip journal, snapping people arriving. The people arriving in the little shuttles must have come straight from the spaceport. So you reckon some of the Zenithians have been arriving from the what is it called, monolith as well. So lots going on. Lots going on. You have heard from previous rumors that there seems to be some sort of access to the old canals underneath. Yeah?
Yep.
And you have heard that there's at least one back entrance, like a delivery entrance. But yeah, you at the grand staircase, if you are Tahir, or if you are Razak, and you're waiting for Akuba, the others, you go around the back.
Before we do, are our communicators likely to be of any use?
Are we allowed to take them in?
Probably, but it's not the done thing to be on your mobile phone while you're working for somebody else.
I'm talking about our little communicator thingies we've got, not our actual communicators. Didn't we have little earwiggy type things at some point?
You do, but yeah, again, if you're seen with that, not typically, unless you're security, then we'll challenge you on it. So is there anybody from those people here trying to sneak in any weapons?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So you're joining the queue. There's a checkpoint. Some security people with a tabula, and they're looking at the names and checking names and pictures off, and then waving them in. So, Saya, you come on. And they say, "Oh, what's your name?"
Niazi.
Niazi. All right. You're a musician, it says here. Is that right?
That's right. I'll hold up my instrument case.
All right. Can we have a look at the instrument?
Yeah, I'll open it up, let them have a look.
And they sort of rough handle it a little bit and shake it upside down and look inside, peer inside and stuff.
I'll be staring daggers at them throughout.
Oh, give it back to you. And then, can you walk through this scanner, please?
Yeah, I'll walk through.
Yeah, and if you don't have any weapons on you, then that's fine.
No, I haven't brought anything I shouldn't.
All right, report to the banquet hall. Somebody will direct you. Right, who's next?
Might as well be me.
All right, okay, name?
Calaf. Hello.
What is it you're here for?
Fun and money. I'm a waiter, dear boy. Watch this. Hello, sir. Would you like an aperitif?
He rolls his eyes at you and says, all right. Come on, through the scanner then.
Thank you.
And report to the
I
kitchen.
go through. No weapons. Absolutely.
Okay.
Where is that?
Oh, they'll direct you. Can he miss
Thank
it?
you so much.
Just follow the beautiful smells.
I surely shall. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant evening.
Aaron, you step up.
Yep. Hello, I'm Yusuf.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm here to work the bar this evening.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Check your ID and check your picture, and miraculously it seemed to match. And wave you through and say, all right, banquet hall.
Perfect, thank you. I'm going to follow the bank. While I'm on the way there, I'm just going to see if there's... Do you know what, I'm going to try and grab like a glass bottle of water or something. Something that I can smash over someone's head if need be, at a pinch. But that's about all I'm doing, looking for weapon-wise.
Okay. They're sort of beautifully cut crystal carafes.
Yeah, I'm not going to steal one of those. I'll just... Do you know what? I'm going to be working at the bar. I'll have access to a lot of glassware.
You'll get some bottles.
Yeah. Bottles roll.
All right. Okay. That's for the front door. So I'm just having a look at my my next map so I can see what's going on. And I've got a bird just getting very upset out from my window. Don't know whether you can hear him.
Oh.
Can you hear that?
Yep.
Yep.
Very annoyed little birdie. If you can tell by that chirping what sort of bird it is, I'm all ears. You can impress me with your nature lore. Right, so I think I can show you this. I don't think there's anything secret on this. So I'm going to take you across to the banquet hall. And then you can roughly see what this place looks like. So the kitchens are off to the south. I don't have a map for the kitchens. The banquet hall is here in the middle. You can see there are a couple of, between the pillars and so on, there's some bars set up as well. Yeah, we need a bar, right? You can't have a party without a bar. Servants area, you're basically hanging around the sides here if you're waitressing and you're circulating amongst the guests eventually. But the main entrance where the guests of honor come is here. These double doors past the fountain in the middle and then up the stairs to the seating. And there's some statues standing here as well. That's what it looks like. So I don't know whether we'll need it, but I might just throw you on this map as well. So, you're far too big, of course, because I haven't scaled this correctly. Let me scale it down a bit. That's better. So Aaron, Khalil somewhere, Saya, Tahir is going to come in from there. Razak is going to come in from there. And Akuba. I think I still have a token for Akuba. She's going to come in from there. So, what you want to do? What's next? You're circulating around. You can see the layout. If you've got any particular questions, please ask.
Interestingly, there doesn't appear to be a bar, so...
Yeah, I already said that between the pillars there's a bar.
Which pillars?
Yes, Khalil.
The ones by the servants area. Fair enough. Okay.
Right. So, how about I put on bar?
Humbug.
Right. Bar humbug. There's a bar. Can you see the bar?
Yeah.
Good. So, any questions at all? There are lots of people, or the first people are milling about, more staff right now than guests, but definitely this has been beautifully decked out. This is beautifully done. And I've got some description somewhere. Questions just where did I stick them? Bang, that's the scene. Must be in there. Oh, it's already open. That's why it doesn't open again. So you're stepping into the banquet hall. What does it say? The hall is a grand courtyard lined with palm trees and flower beds. In the center, a fountain showing a stylized monolith in black obsidian rises high into the air with a miniature covenant city in mother of pearl clinging to the base. Flowering vines climb the statue towards the high mosaic ceilings, through which the night sky and the distant lights of the actual monolith can be seen. So he clearly is a big fan of the Zenithians, this guy. A large open space at the other end of the hall holds several long tables. Bread sculptures, trays of fruit, and ice statues complete the dinner service, and servants in the shadows stand ready to bring the guests whatever they desire. On an elevated stage, tables and divans are especially prepared for the Din Hamas and Dolcasars, and that's supposed to be number 7, I believe, for the wedding party. Yeah, kitchen is off to the side here. Corridors are strictly guarded. So you actually got a pass as you came in. That's why you constantly have to wear that. It doesn't matter so much. And there are various food artists preparing the aesthetically pleasing dinners. It's quite something. You haven't actually seen a lot of that down here at all. You've seen something like this at Alcamas, when you were up in the spire, but you don't normally see this stuff. And there's definitely some imported foods and spices here as well, which must have cost an arm and a leg. So he's definitely out to impress this guy. Now, of course, from the service track, there's some other doors and so on, but I guess you're currently all doing your jobs, right?
Yep.
Good.
Are these guests just currently sort of like schmoozing and waiting staff are going around with drinks, or are they heading straight to the tables?
No, they're currently schmoozing, as you say, circulating. They are socializing, all that sort of good stuff.
Sweet. So I'll be walking amongst them with the old glasses of booze and bubbly, and ask them if they'd like a drink.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know actually. Are the wait staff staying quiet and we're just grabbing stuff, or are we asking? What did the kitchen say we should be doing?
Normally, you don't speak to the guests, unless they speak to you. You don't speak to them.
Excellent.
And there are definitely quite a few Zenithians here who seem to be a bit snooty, and they look around and say, "Oh, we're slamming it today." You overhear a few comments like that. Yeah, can't believe that he would marry his daughter to such a guy.
He shouldn't be marrying his daughter. That's bad.
Yes, Khalil. Are you commenting in character?
No, but what I'm doing is every so often, as I pass people saying this, I just stop, turn towards them, raise an eyebrow, and then just turn back and just carry on.
You're trying to wind them up. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. So 7 o'clock or so rolls on. Don't know what happened to my clock here. Let's see. 7 o'clock. No, that's 8 o'clock. Close enough. Tahir and Razak, you're waiting outside, and Akuba rocks up. She gets dropped off in a little shuttle from the spaceport, you reckon. And she steps out. I show here still in her armor, but she's basically in a stunning red dress with a faceplate up. You initially don't even recognize her. But then she comes across to you and says, "Oh, hello, Tahir. Hello, Razak."
The Sith Lord.
A bit like a Sith Lord. Yeah, a little bit. No, she is a stunner. I mean, normally she hides all of that behind big armor and behind faceplates, but you look at her and you think, ooh, wow, now here's a woman. A woman in red, or lady in red. And she gives you a couple of instructions. She says, so you are on my security team, is it clear?
I am, yes. I'm not sure that Tahir is your
No,
security
Tahir is my +1, believe it or not.
team. Yes, and I'm Aziz.
Aziz, yes, of course. Right, let's rock up then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of security, Frank, are there any visible security?
Yes, there's
Or
security
is it
guards.
just cameras and the like?
Now they have actual security people moving around as well. They're trying to be discreet, and they don't carry any open weapons, but they definitely you can see by the demeanor that they mean business.
So they're not wearing armor or anything. They're just undercover, the guys with the earwigs and the little microphones attached to their sleeves type thing.
Yeah. It's like a security uniform rather than anything like official police form or militia or anything like that. Yeah. Okay. So, and when we go in, remember not to speak unless I tell you to. Yeah. He looks at Razaka as he says that.
Of course.
Shall we go then, Tahir?
Yep, we shall.
And she offers her arm to you.
I must compliment you on your dress. It's outstanding.
Oh, well, thank you. You seem to brush up nicely as well.
Yes, new clothes. Unfortunately, my previous wardrobe burned up.
That must have been a rather unfortunate incident you can tell me about later when we get inside. So you approach the front door.
Hide the smile from my face.
His clothes became too hot to handle.
You, where was I? You're torpedoing me with your jokes. So
Talking about burning clothes, weren't you?
yeah, burning clothes. You carry on like that. See where that gets you. So the first thing you are, as you approach the checkpoint, you see that there is a commotion in front of you. Some of the couple of guards by the door. Basically, there's an outraged guy who looks a bit like a merchant, and he's just screaming at them, "By the judge's mercy, I shan't suffer such slander from the likes of you. Do you have any idea of who I am? Leodol Kassar's third cousin, that's who. Now let me in at once." And just as he says that, a button strike to the stomach cuts him off, and he collapses to the floor mid-sentences, and 4 strong hands quickly haul him away down some side steps towards the dark waters of the river. And then they turn to you and said, "Oh, yes, sorry about that unpleasant business. Can we just check your invitations and your names?" Looking at her here.
Yep, I am Tahir El Fadil.
Oh, you had to think about that, didn't you?
I was trying. My mouth got in the way of me pronouncing.
Your mouth got in the way. Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's hard to speak, I know. All right. Tahir Fadil, Akuba Kosha, and looking at Rozak.
Bodyguard is.
Oh, I see. Looking at Kuba's leaflet as well, like she's got some sort of ID card she's waving, and said, "Oh, please do come in. Please do come in." And the only weapon that you have is your staff, right?
Yes.
Okay. You step also through a scanner. It's very, very much sort of disguised as a scanner. It's like a little archway there, little made of it and decorative. But you know it's a bioscanner.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you come in, and Akuba says to you, after you stepped in and you grabbed a drink, and probably from one of your mates, says, "Oh, yeah, have you heard the news from Coriolis till here?"
No.
Well, of course, things are still a bit rough because the emissary has gone missing and wasn't back for the celebration of the Cyclades. So lots of people say it's a bad omen, that this would be the last Cyclade ever, and so on. But we also had some of the Order of the Pariah's cathedral cruisers doing official weapons tests. And they're definitely flexing their muscles, the Order of the Pariah. It's not good at all. Yeah, the council is on the edge of throwing accusations at each other of incompetence, sloppy security, or just basically being evil and trying to plot something. And a cruiser from the Legion and a whole flotilla of torpedo ships have taken up positions all around the Kuan system, around the portals, just as a show of force to make sure that those pariah cruisers can't come through. Or if they come through, that they know that they're in for a hell of a fight. So things are rather tense.
If only the emissary was found, and quickly.
If only. Have you made any progress on that?
We're on our way.
To where?
And well, we believe the emissary came through here.
Is there still hope that they are actually alive?
There's always hope.
We need to resolve this quickly.
They didn't kill them on the spot. Makes me wonder.
We need to resolve this quickly. They clearly have some other plans for these mystics, right?
Yes. Obviously, we need. That's why we're here. We need to find out where the things moved on, because the pods came through here. The psychics were winnowed out the non-psychics were sold in the slave market, and the psychics went forward somewhere to the swamp, and we need to know where that is.
All right,
This is
so
our best hope for peace.
you're hoping to pick up the track from here, the traces from here.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Well,
The only other option would be to fly over the swamp and do multiple scanning passes, which is less subtle.
and Cooper just points at a young man sitting at a table and says, "That over there, that's Marok. He is the groom."
Ah.
And she sort of lifts her glass because he's gazing over now, lifts her glass and just acknowledges him and drinks some of this.
Smile, hair, beads, wave, etc. Right.
And
So,
he's sitting there with a few people around him who look by the dress that they've got Neo-Zenithian, so they're very much the people who dominate the conglomerate and especially the monolith. Gosh, I can never remember the word monolith today. Why not? It's a difficult word, is it? So you're having a little chat, and who was waitressing? No, actually, Aaron.
No.
Somebody comes to the bar, a Neo-Zenithian guy, and says, "Oh, can you get me a carafe of that red wine?"
Certainly, sir. Would you like it placed on the table?
No, I'll carry it across myself.
Okay. I'm going to hand it to him and I'm going to watch as he carries it.
And I watch as he carries it. Okay, can you do an observation?
Certainly.
Let's see those dice. Let's see those sixes. Ooh, okay. So you're not quite sure what's going on, but there was definitely moving a bit oddly with that carafe, like he put something into it.
I'm going to try and make a note of the man's features. I won't. I'm not going to try and stop him straight away.
Mm-hmm. All right. Kalaf, that's what you're called right now. You are at the table as well. You see where Marok sits, the groom, and you can see how they are sitting around him, and somebody's just walking over with a fresh carafe and puts it on his little side trolley and pours something out for Marok and says, "Here you go. Here's some good red wine for you. You know, it'll be so good to have you in our extended family."
Sweet.
And also all that sort of stuff. And there's a nice little hookah on the table as well. And they say, "Come on, you need to relax a little bit. This is not the wedding day, but it's still a big day when it's announced that the contract has been signed for your marriage."
Well, this isn't the wedding day.
No, this is the
I
day
thought
off.
you said it was. So it was like a wedding celebration.
It's this celebration of the deal that's going on.
Oh,
here.
okay.
So if I have written that in my plan. Now where's my plan gone? That is the name for this ceremony. I didn't want to pop it out. Go away. So it's called the Al-Siyasar. Al-Siyasar. No idea whether that's any Arab word or anything. The Al-Siyasar. And that's basically just the day that it's announced that the contract has been struck for our upcoming wedding. The wedding will be on the monolith, you reckon? The bride's home.
Mhm.
Right.
So, did you really see somebody poison wine and then watch the person being poisoned drink it?
Poison? You don't know. You didn't see it anyway.
No, I know. I'm just. It was me, not to hear asking.
Yeah, it's potential, but you could easily confer amongst yourself, like Kalaf and Aaron. You would definitely have dealings with each other. Saya, you are sitting somewhere slightly off to the side with a couple of other musicians, and you're improvising very well, I think. Shall we have a little roll from you?
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called in this game. There's no performance, is there?
I think about this one, you get served out.
I think manipulation is normally what you do with music.
Okay. Then go on with your manipulation. Play your music. You just keep it
add it.
together. It's not brilliant. You're currently not being asked to play a solo. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Need to practice more.
Yeah. Okay. My knowledge of Oriental instruments is not good enough. Otherwise, I would say you've got this sort of the shalmai is the German word for it, which is a reed instrument that they play a lot out there. There's probably some sort of another string instrument, and there's probably some sort of percussion. Need to get rid of this pop out. I only have this pop out module for one person around this table. To here. And whenever I want to minimize something, it then pops it out. It's like, no, the window's gone again. Anyway. So
Frank,
yeah.
this carafe type thingy that's just been handed over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just from my perspective, I don't see anything immediately suspicious. But can I make a culture roll to see if this is the sort of thing that traditionally happens?
Can you do me an observation roll first?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm actually better at that at culture, so I'll probably fail miserably. Straightforward roll, no modifiers, one way or the other.
Straightforward roll.
Here we go.
As it comes. Good.
One success.
What you do notice is after this guy sat down with it and poured the wine for one of them, all the others seem to be using a different carafe.
So people are in on it, basically. Or would that suggest that, this is a special wine just for the groom type thing?
Well, if you were not the suspicious person you usually are, you would say, of course, it's just because they want him to have the good stuff and they don't want to spoil it for him. But that is a bit unusual. They normally would share it.
Okay. As I am making my way through the crowd and dispensing drinks, I'll head over to Aaron at the bar and sort of say, just clock that guy over there who gave the groom his own wine. That's a bit dodgy, don't you think?
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell if there was something going on there. He collected the wine from me. I gave him the bottle, but yeah, there's something about it I don't trust.
Well, let's find one of the security guys and ask them about it.
Okay.
Don't want to break cover unless we have to. So
yeah, that's true. That would be a that's a really good idea. Just quietly inform them that someone took a bottle or a carafe of wine, and we don't know if they put something in it.
Yep.
Might be best to arrange for the bottle to be replaced.
Of course, you could just swing by and pick it up and say, "Is this empty?" and take it away.
Yeah, but if it's genuinely for the groom and that is some kind of family tradition, it's going to look a bit dodgy if we just walk up and just swipe it.
Or you can just replace it with another bottle of the same stuff from the bar. The barkeep.
I'm not good at sleight of hand. I don't know if anyone else is.
Oh, you could try.
Yeah. Alternatively, if that happens, we could have a security guard walk up and go, "Why are you trying to nick that?" If it's empty, it's too late.
Or you could just knock
claim
it
it
over.
was the wrong drink.
Could just knock it over.
Yeah, okay.
But up to you. Up to you. If you want to inform the security, that's of course an option as well.
Well, since I'm still with Aaron, I'll say, do you think we should mention this to security, or maybe we can see if we can swap it out ourselves? What do you reckon would be the safest route? I'm happy to go and grab it, but I don't want security turning up and going, "What do you think you're doing, swiping booze?"
Have you thought about? And I'm going to waggle my fingers. No, as in the kind of Jedi mind tricker. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly like that.
not so good on the mind tricks. I'm okay with lifting small things, but that's quite a heavy carafe, I thought. But I could give it a shot.
You don't need to lift it. You just need
Push
to
it over accidentally or something. Yeah.
I can stand in front of you to try and give you a little bit of cover, so that way that only people with a direct line of sight will be able to see you.
I don't need line of sight. I just need to be able to see it initially. So what I could do is just turn my back and we could play act that you're supplying me with more wine for the guests or something, and then I could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll follow your lead.
Okay, then let's do that. I'll try and put the old whammy jammy on that bottle of wine. See if it's maybe slide the tablecloth or whatever's underneath it a little bit so it falls over, that kind of thing.
So just to be clear, you want to use your kinetics, if you like, your mystic powers, to let it topple, fall over, whatever.
Yes, I'm just hoping there's nobody here who might sense a disturbance in the force if I do.
They probably would have already been disturbed by the singing.
Yes, let's do that then.
The mystic power detection dog is growling.
I can lift, move, turn, or bend an object using sheer force of will, provided the item is tiny. So, is this small enough to be considered tiny?
Yeah, I'll let you have that.
Okay. So, no dice roll is needed unless I want to use the object for something demanding, like moving a key to a lock and then turning it. Is that
Okay.
going? If I just tip it over, is that going to require a roll?
I'd like to see a roll. You're going to mess it up anyway, but I want to see how successful you are. Whether you are basically just throwing it at somebody across the room and hitting them in the face, or whether you're just nudging it over.
I'm just trying to nudge it, but we'll see where we go.
Yeah.
Straightforward 0 modifier?
Yep. All right. So it ends up being a lot more forceful than you would have anticipated. So
I could always trace the icons, but no, let's go with it.
Rather than just sort of gently tipping over like somebody knocked it, it actually goes flying. It goes flying off the tray, and a couple of feet along, half a meter or so, it drops to the floor and smashes. And people look around and say, "What happened there?" And
I will immediately rush over with my waiter's, cloth, and so I start wiping it up and going, "I'm terribly sorry. I don't know what happened there. Let me replenish this for you immediately." So we do apologise.
And they start shouting at you. Actually, some of them, "You clumsy oaf!"
Yes, dreadfully sorry. We will of course replace this free of charge. We do apologise.
Free of charge, of course. All the drinks are free.
Well, yes, of course.
He's cheeky. He was raising his eyebrow at me earlier. He was rolling his eyes at me.
No, it wasn't. I raised an eyebrow, which I will do again.
All right.
I'll mop it up with my cloth, absorbing the wine, and that could potentially be analysed later.
One of these guys steps forward,
Anyone got any
reaches
salt?
down, and grabs you by the scruff of your neck.
Okay, I'll go with that for the time being.
And he drags you towards the door, the kitchen door, and shouts, "Such an incompetent waiter shouldn't be here. He brings shame upon your family." And he's making a big
Who are you
to-do.
calling incompetent?
You're incompetent and insolent. I just was telling you off for raising your eyebrows at me, and then you said, "Of course I did." "No, it wasn't," and so on. You were contradicting me. You need to learn your place, and he slaps you in the face.
Who's this guy again?
He's one of the Neo-Zenithians, really richly dressed guy, relatively large, who was sitting around the table with the groom.
Right, okay.
And he basically dragged you all the way to the kitchen door.
Okay.
So what do? Do you
I'll ignore
shuffle
him.
on? Shuffle off into the kitchen? Or what do? Kick his shin?
No, I'll let him go for the time being, but his card is marked.
He's got to spit in his wine next time you serve him something.
Oh, he'll be lucky if I spit in his wine.
All right.
Is this is the banquet hall.
Yeah.
There's the exits to the kitchen. There's the obviously exits to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Is there exits which are currently being guarded? Maybe deeper into the house type.
You see a couple of people standing by the kitchen door. You see a couple of people standing by those big double doors, and these big double doors go into the atrium. From the atrium, you've got some washrooms, etc. Yeah, so all that sort of stuff is over here somewhere, which is not actually shown.
So probably the only way deeper into the house to access a computer system would be through the kitchens.
You could either go from the atrium, there's some sort of stairways and so on. You can probably, from the atrium, try and find another room, or you could potentially go into the servants' quarters, where the kitchen is and so on. There's bound to be some administrative computers as well. But you would stand out, seeing as your party guest in very, very posh clothes.
I was thinking at some point maybe a distraction. Damn it, what's the name of my date? Sorry, I'm not usually this scatty.
Akuba.
Yeah. I'm speaking to her quietly. At some point, we may need to cause a distraction.
Why?
You want a distraction? Say no more, buddy. Just slip me the signal.
You see, what we need, as I mentioned, we need to follow the information on. So we need access to the computer system. Do you know, I have an idea. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to Saya in her and ask her to play a Zenithian piece of music I know. Yeah, and if I get a chance, mention the servants' quarters, and when she gets a break, maybe she could date a gin from there.
Okay.
If she gets a chance to play the music, I shall dance.
You shall dance.
Yes.
By yourself.
With Akuba.
Or with Akuba.
No, with my date. With the
You're going to do a sort of a full-on tango routine.
Yes, I think so. The shame it's not in 0G. 0G tango is the bee's knees.
What was the 0G dancing in? Ready Player One, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was some cool stuff in that.
Some cool stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the book was better than the film, but I enjoyed the book. Felt like a right nerd fest.
As long as you're a male, there's very little. There was no female nerd festing in there.
That was a bit. Okay, there was not My Little Pony or anything like that, no. All right, so she says, "Oh, really? Why are you trying to have a distraction? Is it just so your friends can do something, or do you want to do something?"
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm a bit too obvious to fade into the background.
Not full of yourself at all. So, let me just check. Aaron, you're behind the bar right now. I'm actually going to move you up there.
Yep. Okay.
Khalil, you're out in the kitchen right now, I assume.
I'm not Khalil.
So, Kalaf.
Well, I was going to replace that wine, but since this Neo-Zenithian guy didn't seem that interested, so he's not getting it.
He's not getting it. Well, it's free wine anyway. All they have to do is get some delivered. And
I
the
know,
others,
I'm not delivering it.
you're milling about. I don't know with Razaka, are you always staying close to Akuba and Tahir? It's probably the wisest. Or...
Yeah. I'm guessing it'll be suspicious if I leave them as I'm acting as their bodyguard. But if they go for a dance, I'll wander over to the bar to get a drink and check with Aaron what's going on.
The room is not huge, so each square here is 2 meters, yeah? So you can basically keep an eye on each other very, very easily. There are probably about 40, 50 people milling about here, not socially distancing.
They've got no masks on, though. Hands, face, space.
Some of them actually have masks on, but they are just like fashion masks. Make them look elegant.
My apologies, there was screaming outside. I was wondering what it was.
It wasn't you, was it?
No.
Okay.
It actually sounded serious.
All right. Yeah, can happen. When I was living in London, there was a lot of shouting outside our house. Not related to us, I hasten to add.
Where's the toilets, for want of a better term?
Off the atrium. Yeah, so if you basically out here, there's another big room, and then you've got some various stairs from there. You've got stairs going up, you've got washrooms there, you've got nice open space to just sit and chill if you don't like the music.
I'm going to take the opportunity to visit the washrooms and just check out the space and just check for quick exits. See if there's any suspicious characters kind of hanging around in places.
There's a lot of security here, especially out here in the atrium. Yeah, not everybody seems to be in the banquet hall, but you must have been afforded a special permission to basically mix and mingle with them.
Okay.
You hear...
So anytime we enter the centre, we've got to show our passes.
Pretty much, yeah. You have to show your pass. So, is it time for our distraction yet?
I think so.
Who is going to use the distraction to get further into the building? And how are you communicating this?
Well, I think it needs to be our data gen. Who else can do data gen other than Sue?
Aaron can do some.
I can do. Yeah, I can do a little bit.
And Razak.
So who can do it? You know,
Is this more the
who can
is
say,
this more the merrier?
"Go, I need to powder my nose."
Can we do it? Yes, we can. But who? So, Saya, do you want to make an excuse?
Yeah, I'm going to need to take a break at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians get tired.
Yeah.
I shall sneak off around the
I
back.
actually managed to play in the pub this last Sunday gone again for the first time in a year. So, more than a year.
Yeah.
3 hours of live music was really good. And the occasional pint with it. So, who else? Is that it? Khalil, are you going to help or are you going to?
If somebody wants a distraction, I found a likely subject.
Remember, these guys, like, status-wise, are really, really high. Yeah, if somebody
Oh, yeah,
insults them, they can basically kill people on the spot. Just be mindful of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the thing is, we're going to try the dance distraction first.
Yeah, I want to see that, actually. But before we start the dance, is there anything else that people want to do? Razak, did you want to go into the undercroft, like the kitchen tract, or you want to stay up here?
Well, I wanted to check the washrooms out and just have a little wander around. You know, while I'm not needed to go
is
out
fine.
there busy on the dance floor.
There's probably something I can tell you about the atrium that I haven't told you. Yeah, so in the atrium, visitors are greeted by courtesans and members of the house staff, and then you're escorted through marble colonnade with tasteful floor mosaics. The hallway is dimly lit and the cracked walls are covered with large draperies, so you actually don't see the cracked walls. The partygoers are taken to the atrium, which the palace's former owner spent a fortune on renovating. White marble walls and floors with inlaid Algolian calligraphy in gold. 8 fountains discreetly praising the icons serve as a natural hub for mingling. An assortment of dates, exotic fruit, nuts, refreshing beverages are served here, with servants ready to sample everything before the more paranoid guests partake. Shaded alcoves line the walls, occupied by important hegemonists, reclining on divans attended by their own staff. In the middle of the atrium, a dance troupe dressed in swirling boroughs perform a tastefully modern take on the Tempestuous, a classical religious masterpiece. So the party is really out there, where you are. It's a bit quieter. So that's going on in the atrium.
Okay, so is Sarah coming down here as well? So are we taking an opportunity to get onto some sort of data outlet?
No, Saya can probably go just about everywhere as a musician.
Okay.
The atrium, the banquet hall, or she could go to the kitchen tract.
Whereas from myself, I can really only, as a guest, I can just stay in the main areas.
Atrium, banquet hall, that's typically where you would be.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a sort of a balcony outside as well, overlooking some of the city, so you could hang about there.
Yeah. I can't be gone for too long because obviously I've got a role there, but I just wanted to sort of check out the area, check for potential exits, rapid exits, should something kick off. Or should we end up in trouble? We need to get out quickly.
Yeah, you scouted a couple of routes, but there's really only one big main entrance and exit. There are a couple of windows you could get out of.
And kind of suss out where all the guards tend to be at all times to see if they've got any weak points. And yeah, if there are some potential exit bolt holes through windows, just kind of look out them, see if there's a route safely away, and check if they're unlocked.
Okay, do me...
If they are locked, maybe open them a little bit.
Do me an infiltration to see how successful you are at that stuff. Okay, yeah, you're pretty sure that you have found a couple of feasible escape routes, which are not too heavily guarded.
Okay. And are the guards, are they armed with guns?
Some of the household guards outside are armed with guns. If the people inside have them, they must be very small because you don't see them on them. But you reckon they can't be far away.
But they have other obvious weapons like batons or
not really, no.
knives or anything.
No, they seem to be very well trained, but they don't seem to have weapons on them, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
Maybe they are the weapons. They don't need to have weapons. They do give you the feeling that these guys are well trained, definitely. Not necessarily military trained. You're thinking more sort of street fighting people, bandits or gangsters.
So quite muscular, decent strength.
Yeah, probably sly people.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this then. Is it time for the dance?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you. So Akuba and Tahir are dancing. Are you dancing here in the banquet hall, or are you dancing in the atrium?
Let's.
Or are you zooming from one to the other?
If we start sort of here,
Mm-hmm.
that will draw everyone's attention, and then we basically move.
Well, I just say that these doors are currently open anyway.
Now, I've had a look at my character sheet.
Oh, and has got dance to distraction or something. Driven to distraction.
No, I have. There you go. Exo specialist. Yeah, it's +2 to using loaders and battle exos.
Yeah. Are you dancing in an exo, are you?
You are nimble as a cat and can evade. Yeah. Also, I have 0D training where I get +2 to exo. Yeah, with my agility, I think I'm quite dexterous. So if you feel like giving me any bonuses to this role, I'd appreciate it.
I might give you +2.
Cool. Now, come on, dice. You know you love me.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So you
Is
have
it worth praying, guys? Shall I make it an epic dance of epicness?
You already got a critical.
Okay.
And she's adding another success to it as well. And look, she's impassioned, which is randomly chosen. I didn't put that there.
Yes. Is she carrying a space rose in her teeth?
Oh, yes, definitely. She's got a rose and you're doing a tango and everybody's looking at you. And
Space tango.
yeah.
Tango.
And Aaron, from the bar, you're keeping an eye on this young groom. He does seem to be a little worse for wear, like he's being made a little drunk or something.
I'm going to
By the people around him.
probably approach him very gently and say, "I'm awfully sorry for the interruption." Bows. Is there anything I can do to be of assistance? Bows again. Maybe some water, perhaps.
And he seems to nod, but the people around him say, "Oh no, a young man like that doesn't need water. No, bring us some more wine."
Oh, please do bring them more wine.
And you get a slight smell of awpaw from them. Like they might have put some awpaw oil in the wine or something like that.
Okay. At which point I'll say, such esteemed guests, how about I bring you wine as the young sir has asked for water? And yes, that way I can satisfy everyone.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just going to try and make sure I can look after him.
Mhm.
Right. Is this his family who are hosting this party?
His father is hosting the party, but the people he's currently sitting with around this table, they are Neo-Zenithians, so they belong to the bride's family, the Din Hamam.
Because I'm thinking that if I notice how bad he is, might actually be worth bringing the state of this son carefully to his father, so he can have a servant withdraw him to his safety, even if that's one of us.
The father sits up on the pedestal with the Din Hamam parents right next to him, so you can approach him if you like.
Yes. Oh, once the dance is finished.
Once the dance is finished. So first of all, you do the
Everyone think
dance.
this is a good idea, by the way. Basically, getting the father to send a servant. Or what I could do is, right, you're looking after him, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing what I can to look after him, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, if I basically go up to his father and say, your son's a little worse for wear. I've asked one of the servants to take him to his room, and basically point as he's being led away. That way, it looks completely legit. What does people think using PC telepathy?
Yeah, I'll
Kalash
be up
just
for doing
made a
that.
strange noise. I don't think he's convinced.
I think using PC telepathy, that the big bucket mark here might take offence if you come along and say your son looks a bit pissed. We've arranged to take them away from the party. That's in his honour.
He looks a little under the weather. I thought it might be. I've asked the servant to take him to his room to recover a little, as he seems to be quite excited.
From your cultural knowledge,
in a culture type world.
from your cultural knowledge, you know that would be quite presumptuous to do.
Might be risky.
I think suggesting that he looks maybe that he might be a little bit under the weather or unwell might be stretching it, but so let's say, and we've arranged for one of your servants to drag him away from his own party would definitely be a bit presumptuous. If we wanted to suggest that maybe he should be suggesting that he wants to take away from the party, that might be kind of like the better way of doing it.
The other way, of course, would be to say, go over and introduce myself in a arrogant manner, being Zenithian, polite but arrogant, and talk about how his son and
Right. Before we get into that, let us have the dance and the distraction, then we can come back to this, yeah?
Okay.
Because otherwise we just talk about what we could be doing, but we don't do anything. So the dance really focuses people's attention. And Saya, if this is the moment for you to slip away, then there's not going to be a better moment for this.
Yep.
So who's coming along with you, did you say?
Who
Kelly?
is coming?
Yeah, if you want, I'm happy to do that.
And Aaron, are you going to stay up there? Or are you going to go down?
I'm going to stay up just in case I'm needed more with the... Or I'm helping the chap back to his room.
Well, okay, you're standing by for that bit.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to the kitchen track, and there are quite a few rooms to this. Like waiters are running around. There's lots of cooking going on, shouting in the kitchen, Hell's Kitchen style. The corridors here are relatively simple. They've got some sort of wooden panels, etc. But you do notice that there are a few other doors. Here and there you even see some alcoves for smaller sort of icon statues or altars for blessings of the icons here. And there's a lot of good food stuff around. But there are some other doors, and I know you're looking for that. So, for example, the chef seems to have a computer at the back of the kitchen. There's an extra little office. And there's another door next to the kitchen, where you reckon that might lead into some lower level, like a cellar.
I'll need to pick a quiet moment and then sneak in.
You want to go where? To the cellar? Or to the chef's office, which is very much in plain sight. Because it's got a big picture window into the kitchen.
Depends what we're trying to find at this point. The chef's office sounds like a good bet for a computer.
Yeah.
Yep, he'd need that to prepare everything that's needed for a meal, to administer for kitchen timesheets and stuff like that. Yeah.
Recipe collections.
Yep.
So should we head in there, and I'll see what I can dig up around stuff that might be in the house, and maybe get some good recipes at the same time.
Yep.
Now it could be tricky to just sit there, just bold as brass, because you're not the chef and you're not kitchen staff either of you.
Is the office? What's it look like? Is it like a glass partition thing, or is it an actual office where
it's an
people
extra
can't see
little
in?
room off to the side of the kitchen, but it's got a big glass window into the kitchen. So normally you reckon that the chef sits behind the window and looks in to keep an eye on his minions, but right now he's just chasing them around and whipping them about and shouting at them. So, no, that's not right. That's too much Worcester sauce, if that exists there. That's too much melange. Different game again.
Yeah, well, I think that would be the wrong spice to have in these meals, to be honest.
Okay.
Sire, do you need actually to use this guy's computer, or can you like hack into it wirelessly using your tablet, or what? I mean, do you need to be actually sitting at the desk tapping away, or can you be, under the window type thing?
I do have a security tablet, so...
Did you bring that with you? Because that would have been detected by the scanner.
You said only weapons.
Yeah, metal and electronics.
What does a security tablet look like? Does it actually look different from just, like a normal tablet that people would carry?
You can make them look the
very
same.
great skulls and like on it, does it, or anything?
It's got some special, like, it's got more ports and more things you can plug into it and stuff like that.
But would it actually be detected, or would it just show up like an electronic device like your average iPad today would anyway?
Yeah, but you wouldn't bring that with you unless you say something else. No, I don't want to retcon this too much.
Don't forget, Diane was a musician, so she may need that tablet to have music.
If you want to
stuff like
retcon this, I want a manipulation roll that you got this in with -1.
I think maybe I just bought my regular tabula then.
Same thing. On a normal tablet, I might just give you a flat manipulation roll.
Can I assist on that manipulation roll?
Yeah, we have to rewind this briefly to when you first came in. You can assist by distracting a little bit, maybe.
I can do better than that.
Oh, him again. You have to give me another darkness point, do you?
Not unless I have to. Let's see where we go.
So
Let's see where we go.
I
Speed, not
can
manipulation.
help by providing a distraction.
Now, I do have a finale in mind, because you know that this is the end of the long block, and then we've got a 3-week break before we get back together. So I have a finale in mind, but we do need to keep on track if that's going to happen tonight.
what was the modifier for the security tablet?
-1.
Right. In which case, I will give it a shot.
But I can assist you with one dice anyway, so that negates it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nope.
So as the security tablet comes out, they say, "Oh, no, you can't take this one then."
Well,
What's your plan then? Are we trying to spy on our guests? And this is where Khalil might want to do something.
well, I don't think I can actually. I could use stop, but I think it's too late at this point.
Stop. This is not the tablet you're looking for.
Move along. Move along.
So, if there's no other interference and no prayer coming from you,
Well,
Can't pray to the icons.
I did do prayers to the relevant icon for manipulation.
And there you
Oh.
go.
So
Get a +1 on the reroll. There you go. Eventually, you
That's
can
better.
actually convince him.
without the extra dice, but
Well, you didn't need it. He says,
No.
"Oh, all right, so it's your sheet music you've got on there. Yeah, fine. Why didn't you just say so?" And he waves you through. So back to the kitchen. An hour and a half later or so, you have the
Thank you.
security tablet. You can probably try to sort of sit under the desk and try to hack from there.
I'll position myself somewhere out of the way of fast-moving chefs.
And you're going to be in the room by yourself? And Khalil is in the corridor? Or how's this going to play
I'll
out?
stay out in the corridor. You know, if anyone comes along, I
All
can
right,
provide
an infiltration then, just to give me a clue of how visible you are.
I'm just standing out in the corridor, but okay.
No, not you, not you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'm not very stealthy.
You're not very stealthy, and they're not very attentive. So for now, you think you're fine. You think you've got
That's the perfect combination, isn't it?
it. It is. All right. So, yeah, that means you have to do me data gen. See whether they can get onto there without tripping any alarms. Okay, you have some sort of access, but there's definitely areas of the network that are off limits to you. So what are you looking for?
Anything related to the pods being brought in and where they might be now.
Have you got anything that's the starting point for you? Names, dates.
We
With-
had some dates of when things were arriving, didn't we?
We've still got the inventory list, haven't we, from thingy?
Yeah, so we know how many.
And dates and the internal order code from thingamy.
You also had a name, don't you remember that?
Probably, but I can't find the relevant handout.
Oh dear. The one that's not at Gangan?
Oh, Jar Jar.
Jar Jar. Yeah, because she was apparently the person handling all the deliveries, etc. See, with that information, I'll tell you that Jar Jar seems to be employed here as an engineer, it says. And yeah, it does say she pops up all over the place, but she seems to be a very trusted servant of this house. And she has been handling the deliveries. Is there anything in particular you want to know?
I think where the deliveries get put.
All right. It lists some of them going to the slave markets. Yeah, and lists some prices that have been collected, some money that has been collected for them. And it lists some others just saying pall bearers. Yeah, so destination pall bearers.
That's a bit ominous.
The Undertaker's manager.
Mm. Actually, it might say something else. It might say to Sultra. Or Sultra.
I'll make a note of those names.
Mm. Sultra, of course, are the Sultra marshes. Yeah, you've heard of that before.
Yep. Yes, we saw that on the map.
All right.
I'm going to try and cross-reference all the various bits of information we've collected for my best guess as to where the emissary might be now.
Mm-hmm. Best guess. Well, the only guess you can really see right now, Sultra Marshes, doesn't tell you a lot more. Let me just see whether I can reveal any more at this stage. Because ideally you would speak to... Never mind, I won't tell you who. You also see some stuff that are various notes about stasis units and spare part orders in her name, in Jar Jar's name. And actually, as you get a bit deeper, it lists that there were 25 pods with black marking. And 6 of those have been classified as damaged in transit. Of the 13 white marked ones, 4 show as damaged as well. And the manifest also states, or the information, that 52 Sogoi slaves have been delivered from Arthur. You remember him? You stole his boat and then burnt it to load as compensation for the damaged goods.
I suddenly can't remember. Was it the white ones that we think were mystics?
No, you think the white ones were the non-mystics.
Right.
Right, now I'm going to grab myself a drink for a minute. Is that okay with everybody? Short break?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds good. Right, I'm getting thirsty. It's getting still very warm here tonight. So, short break, 5 minutes, and then we'll be back for the concluding 50 minutes or so. I think we need that full time today. So, let me put that on break. Oh, no, I can't do that while I'm editing. No. Once upon a time I had a break system in here. Never mind. But I'm going to put the stream on break anyway. So be right back. All right, I think we can carry on.
Excuse me, goodness.
So we'll leave the kitchen for a moment and go back upstairs. Your dance is just ending its final steps, and you get polite applause from the people around you. To hear.
Okay.
Polite applause. Blimey, everyone's a critic.
And the Cooper says, "Oh, that was quite something. I can't remember the last time I danced like that."
Glad you liked it.
There's an older lady coming towards you and says, "Oh, that reminded me of when I was young. You make such a lovely couple."
Thank you. When she basically says, when I was young, I said, "Oh, not too long ago then." I take it she's a bit older.
Oh, aren't you the sweetie? She's probably at least 4 times as old as you.
Yes.
Okay. Is Sue back as well? She's muted.
She should
Doesn't
be
matter.
back.
So who else have we got? Aaron, you have been watching this dance, and you've been seeing that this Marok guy is getting a bit more inebriated or whatever influence he's under, but you have not intervened yet. Do you want to intervene or not? Also going to be trouble if you do. That's for Aaron, the question. Will? Not back yet? Guess not. Oh dear. So... who can we carry on with? Razak, what are you currently doing?
Mm-hmm.
Watching the dance?
Well, I can't be dancing myself. It probably wouldn't be fitting if I'm there to watch over my the two I'm here with. So
Yeah, quite right.
I
That would not be
will
right.
just be kind of hanging around, maybe at the bar having a catch up with Aaron, as if we don't know each other, but just observing the crowd, waiting, seeing if anyone's acting suspicious, if there's something going to kick off, waiting for trouble.
You overhear the people sitting around the table there with Marok. A couple of them are standing slightly to the side, and they're getting a bit agitated. One of them is basically Marok seems to be rambling on a bit under the influence, saying a few slightly stupid things, and one of them actually spits on the floor and says, there you go, there you are, I knew it, it's just no good, this bloodline. Yeah, no proper hegemonist would ever dream of marrying into a clan of degenerate first comes like that. I wonder what they actually want from this. Yeah, is this guy actually blackmailing one of the high-ranking family members? What do you think? It's absolutely laughable. So can you do me a quick infiltration, whether they spot you listening?
And this Marok, he is what side of the family? He's the father of the...
No, he's the son. He's the bride. Sorry, the groom. He's the son of Leot Dolkazar.
Gotcha. Okay. And the people he's talking with
They
seem to be
vaguely belong to the bride's family.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Infiltration.
Okay, do a quick observation on them. Whether they spot you or not. You think they didn't spot you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you definitely can hear that they seem to be less than pleased to have this guy marrying into the family.
Yeah, the wealth on the side of the family is probably with Marok's side of the family, isn't it? That's where the prestige surely is.
Could be. But after the dance, what do Akuba and Tahir want to do now? And after having spoken to the dear old lady.
Yeah, so that guy has been led away, hasn't he?
No.
No, he's just getting a bit drunk and boisterous.
could go over and introduce ourselves and congratulate him on the wedding and keep him company.
Good
and look
idea.
after him.
Akuba
Bye.
completely agrees. She sort of shimmies you along and says, "Come on, we need to help this young guy."
Sorry?
"Come on, we need to help this young guy," says Akuba.
Yes. Sorry, there was a... Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. So you go across and she says, "Oh, you sit this side, I sit this side." And they sort of muscle in, push in, and says, "Oh, hello, we want to congratulate you." And she's actually quite good at small talk as well. And basically notices what's going on and then waves across to Aaron. Aaron's still around. Yeah, he is around. And says, "Oh, bring us some water over, would you?"
Yep, I'll make sure to bring over a very large carafe of water.
Uh-huh. So she seems to basically, together with Tahir, try to keep this guy from getting into any further trouble. And giving the others some stares. Evil eyes, daggers. Saying, "You naughty boys, you shouldn't have been doing that." Okay, now, is our hacker back? Saya, are you back?
Yeah.
Good. So, you're back down in the kitchen. You get one final clue. You see, it looks like the workshop for this charger lady is in the cellar.
Ah. I was wondering where we might find her. I guess that's our next stop.
All right, just in that moment, as you say, "Ow, that's a cool bit of information," Khalil, you notice that the chef is coming towards his office. He's shouting
I
behind him.
will.
"Make sure you
will-
don't burn the roasted almonds this time. They get
I will
bitter."
surreptitiously knock on the door to let Sire know that there's incoming, and I will intercept him.
He turns the corner and looks at you. "Oh, what do you want here? You're not one of my staff."
No, I'm one of the waiters. Who do I complain to? I was verbally assaulted by one of the guests. What's going on here? They don't
Verbally
pay me enough
assaulted
to
by
take
a
a drink.
guest. You have to keep in
Yes.
mind that is standard fare in our job.
Well, I know, but it was particularly obnoxious and insulting. Just because he spilled some wine, he tried to blame it on me.
He comes a bit closer to you and says, "Right, you seem to be new to this job. Here's a piece
I
of
must
advice.
admit, this is my second job. Yes, I am a bit new to this, but come on, surely we should all be pleasant to each other.
You have not been working in these circles before. Right, here's the piece of advice. It comes straight from the deckhand. Suck it up.
From the one hand?
Got it?
No, I didn't catch that. What did you say again?
Suck it up. There's nothing you can do against this.
I demand to speak to HR.
What's that?
Human Resources. Surely you've heard of it.
Scratches his head and says, "No, not really."
Not really. What
Not
kind
really.
of planet is this?
Anyway,
Who's your,
I need
who's
to get
your
on.
manager?
He sort of shouts back into the kitchen and says, shouts, "Vinay, come over here. We've got the troublemaker here. I think he needs to be escorted out."
How dare you?
He doesn't take
Anyway.
he doesn't take advice. So a big guy comes from the kitchen.
I'll start sniffing again. Do you smell a fire?
He's got a cleaver and muscles towards you.
I smell a fire. Are you sure that everything's okay in that kitchen?
And he says, "Can you just get this guy removed here?"
Okay, don't blame me if your entire dinner goes up in flames. Or worse, it burns the place down.
Okay, you actually convinced him enough to go back to the kitchen and have a quick look. But you're being escorted off the premises.
Okay, that's fine. I'll get him. So, do you really need to escort me off the premises? Surely, are you security? You don't look security. Are you sure you're security?
He just completely blanks you and just drags you along. Says, "The boss
Okay.
says you need to go, so go."
I can find my own way out then. There's no need to be threatening people with cleavers.
You're already by the side door. And he
Right,
sort of pushes you forward and says, "Go!" And the guards
I'm-
turn around and say, "Oh, what's going on here?"
Beats me, this guy's getting abusive.
Mm-hmm.
You have a talent, dude. You really do.
He doesn't have any talents.
I have some talents.
Yeah, you're many talented, I know that, but... Okay, you've been escorted off the premises, but you bought Saya
Not
some
yet.
time to slip out of the kitchen.
Hold it right there, buddy. I'm going to make him forget why he wants to escort me off the premises. Or I'm going to try to.
Okay, on you go.
Yep, thank you very much. Let's see if it works. It probably won't, but if it does, it's going to be hilarious.
Let's have a look. Right. And this is your mystic powers, and what's the power called?
Stop.
Stop. Oh, that's stop. Right, of course you do this before he reaches the threshold, I take it.
Yep. It makes him forget to do something. The example given is directly on point.
Is it?
Yep.
There must be something subtle that can be attributed to simple forgetfulness.
Yep. Like forgetting an NPC forgetting a roadblock without checking their papers, or forgets her keys somewhere. I'm just making him forget, who's escorting me, but he's not quite sure why.
All right. I like the idea, so I'll give you that. He stops after a while and says, where was I going?
I don't know, but I'll find where I need to go. You should probably get back to the kitchen and help the chef.
Right. And he scuttles off. And you bought some time for Saya, as I said, to get out of the kitchen office.
And I'm going to head for the cellar.
I'm going to head for the cellar. There is a reasonably well-lit stairs going down to the cellar.
Yeah, hopefully if Khalil manages to extract himself, he can come and join me.
Did you mention the cellar out loud? Would I know about it?
Not yet. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I can stumble my way to it, but I don't want to be looking around this place too much on my own before security turns up.
Okay. So it's a spiral staircase you find. And let's just say that Khalil catches up with you quite quickly, so we can keep you together. Right, quick, go back to the banquet hall. What's going on there? Tahir and Akuba, you are basically taking young Marok under your wing. And you hear a little speech. So he's actually being asked to go upstairs, up to the podium. And he's a bit unsteady, which his father's really disapproving of. But yeah, you do hear a little speech. So let's see, where's the speech? Yeah, so it says, like a bit of ceremony, and please be seated and have your glasses charged, and all that sort of stuff as you do. So, and you see that Marok is sort of stumbling up, and a reasonably pretty, but actually not outrageously pretty young girl, the bride, sits on the other side with her family. And a chap who must be Leodor Kossar stands up and says, "Honored guests and friends, I welcome you with all my heart to the Alcirsar. Tonight we celebrate the union of the Dol Kossars and the noble Din Khamas, paragons of Zenithian light and wisdom, whom we have to thank for opening our eyes to a new horizon. Marok Dol Kossar of the proud Tabaran blood, exalted Tabaran, who stalwartly fought off darkness during the long night, seeks the hand of Theda Din Khama, a child of Ada, a bringer of light from humanity's cradle." And he points at the bride. "Honored guests, today is a proud day. May the icons hear us as we raise our glasses towards the monolith and pray for their blessing of this blood bond. May they guide us to honor our history and welcome the future. Dearest of friends, may your cups never run dry, your plates never be empty, and your spirits lose themselves in music and dance. May this Alcirsar be a fond memory for all of us until she, the most merciful, comes to grace us with her slumber. May this day mark the birth of a brighter tomorrow." And with that he raises his glass, and there's general applause and nodding and acclamation, and the music strikes up again without an oud. So that is the speech, one of the speeches.
That was a nice speech.
Oh, that you liked it. I didn't write it, though. I just delivered it. That reminds me, I have to, in about 2 weeks' time, I have to hold 4 speeches in one evening. Not looking forward to that. So, back to the kitchen. Sorry, if there's anything that Aaron or Razak want to do differently, separately, please say.
Nope, I'm good.
Right, back to the cellar.
Can't think of anything.
You're going down a... just for ease, I think I'm going to share this with all of you. You're going down a spiral staircase. And you arrive where it says 11, top left corner.
You do not own any token with vision on this scene.
Okay, let's not bother with visions scenes. Let's just make this global illumination and no token visibility. That means now you should be able to see something.
Yep.
As if by magic. So you are up here, number 11. 10s are lifts that are coming down. So you didn't see them at the top, but there must be some lifts. And as you come down these stairs, you're getting a smell that you remember from the Delta, a smell of stagnant water, rotting seaweed, like definitely smells of water down here, of old water, dirty water.
That is weird.
That is weird, but you have to remember how close you are to the water here and how even the dogfighting place seems to be combating constant flooding.
You'd think somewhere as fancy as this would have dealt with that, but well, I guess not.
No, it's the Undercroft.
In the cellar, I suppose it's not the important people who come down here.
So you come down there, where is it? There's another smell. Somebody is actually burning incense down here, trying to cover the smell, you reckon. So there's definitely some incense as well. Over here in the corner, 01, there's a statue of the dancer on a makeshift altar. And there are little bowls of dried fruit and sticks, and that's where the incense is being burned. Yeah. And this door here is locked.
With an electronic lock or a manual lock?
An electronic lock. Perfect for Saya.
Yeah, good thing I brought the security tablet.
So with the data gin or technology, you can circumvent it if you want to.
Yep, I will have a go. I'm slightly better at data gin.
And you've got the tools for that, whereas presumably we weren't allowed to have an electronic toolkit.
That doesn't look good.
Complicated lock, this one. So I might need some help from the icons for that. Sorry, were you saying you're pushing this? Yep.
Right. Okay. 1 is enough. Thank you for the darkness points again. Back to 11. I haven't updated my stream thing, but I won't bother with that. I know how many I've got. Yeah, so eventually that slides open. And there was an alarm that you didn't trigger because you were able to disable it. So what you come into is this a relatively sparsely furnished room. There's a simple bed there, an alcove in the wall, some worn rugs, a table, a low divan. And off to the side, there's a little kitchen.
Giant slippers.
They're not slippers. It's a table with a couple of chairs around it, 4 chairs. And over here in 07 is something else. I don't think I've told you that yet. Spare power storage. Right, so there's an open way to the back. Towards a sort of workshop area. You can see that's lit by some faint light. Some machines are on there. And as you look into there, you can already see that there are a couple of stasis pods here.
Yeah. Let's take a look and see if there's anything in them. I'm guessing from the key to this map there isn't. But
no, there isn't. How did you guess? Wow, it's amazing. There isn't. These are empty stasis pods.
Is there anything in these cages?
There is, according to number 12.
In the cages, let's have a look. The in numbers, what was the spell say? Oh, yes. You look through them, and in number 12, there seems to be a cowering Nikatra in the corner. The cages are basically relatively simple. They're just welded together steel rods, and with a code lock. And inside there's just enough room for a bed and a bucket, so the smell is not the best either. And you get the seaweed, the sort of dirty smell, but you also get the smell of feces and stuff.
Looks like the plumbing could do with some improvement.
Yeah, and the Nikatra is basically cowering in the corner, gnawing on a big bone. Torn clothing and more pieces of bone in the cage suggest that the prisoner is chewing on the remains of a former cellmate.
Lovely.
And I've gone right off the idea of letting him out.
Or 2 or 3.
You remember some Nakatra words?
Is there one for "don't eat me"?
Yes.
Somebody didn't learn them, did they?
No, clearly not. Clearly not.
But the other cells are empty at the moment, yeah?
The other cells are empty at the moment.
Do they show any
Actually,
signs of being
hang on.
Sorry, carry on.
05, it says empty stasis units, doesn't it? That is interesting, because it does say here. Let me just reread this briefly. It says the workshop room is packed full of empty stasis units. 8 metal cages in the far corner stand ready for the next group of Vats of coolant liquid stacked on top of each other sit next to the cages, some of them leaking their corrosive content onto the floor. No, I don't see that in the picture.
I don't see a room stacked full of sleepy units either. I see 2.
Me neither.
Or at least now it's 2 on top of the 2.
No, let's just leave it as it was.
They may just be there for representative purposes instead of just
Yeah,
drawing a
it
whole
doesn't
bunch.
quite match, does it? Let's just leave it as it is. So we have a desk here in this room as well. And knowing you probably want to have a look at it.
Yep. Yeah, people leave all kinds of interesting things on desks.
There's definitely things on that desk, but whether or not they're supposed to be there, who knows?
Yeah, this resolution, it's hard to tell.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things at maximum
6
zoom.
things, yeah. There's the most important thing as you scan the desk is there's a tabula lying there.
Is that the cyan thing?
Sorry?
It's sort of like a cyan bluey colour.
Yeah. The thing that looks like a PlayStation Portable or something.
Yeah. PS Vita or something.
Oh, yeah, sorry. The Vita was the one after the PSP, wasn't it? Showing my age now. I actually still have a Vita upstairs.
They've just discontinued it.
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
Support for it anyway. I don't think they've sold it for years.
No. It was a decent little machine. The graphics were good.
Mm.
So, Tabula, do you want to hack into it?
Always.
Or it might explode, you never know. Might be
Okay.
trapped. Triggered.
It's possible, but I feel like people don't just randomly leave their own tabulas lying around trapped, so I'll give it a go.
Give it a go. This seems to be a tabula that belongs to Jar Jar. A lot of the information I gave you earlier that you had found on the network is also on here. There might be a little bit more. What else am I willing to give you here? Let's have a look. It seems to be a write-up of the cargo inspection. Yeah, that you notice. You get some of that information from there. It also seems to say that Arthur was paid in the end by somebody called Salama Achabut. So that's where the money came from.
Name sounds vaguely familiar.
You have come across that before. Yeah, Salama Achabut. I think you came across that as the leader of the cell of the Order of the Pariah. You know, in that hangar fight? The lady who escaped from you? You think that might have been her. What can I put here? There's also a couple of comments made, like almost a diary, where Jar Jar seems to wonder. She's talking about the pallbearers and that some of them have gone missing. And that at least one of them has been pulled up by fishermen on Lake Itamara. Yeah. So that's a reference you might recognize. All right. As you're looking at that, you hear some steps coming down the stairs. No, actually, let's make this different. You hear the lift descending.
Sweet.
And you hear ping.
I need to hide quick.
I think that corner there would be a good one.
Which one?
By the cages and by the door next to 13.
Right there in the corner. All right. So you hide back there, you pile up into the corner and duck down, and you hear the swoosh, swoosh of the door opening and closing. And you hear a big sigh, and you hear somebody moving around over there.
Is that a Star Trek swish effect or a different swish effect?
Yeah, it's very gently different, so we don't actually have any copyright infringement on the stream. Right, so, yeah, you hear somebody moving about, and then you hear another of these swishy doors moving, and she seems to have gone somewhere else.
Presumably head her off to number 8 and number 7 and number 9.
The other numbers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the workspace.
Mm-hmm. You did see, right, that here at the south there's another door?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. What do you want to do? Do you want to wait? Do you want to sneak out while she's not looking? Do you want to overwhelm whoever this person is? Do you want to release the Nekatra?
I don't think we want to release the savage prisoner-eating Nekatra just too much.
And I'm not sure we're quite built for overcoming people.
Do you want to have a talk? Cup of tea? Play a song?
We could maybe sneak out onto the loading docks and wait until they go away.
Don't know about that. Are these, can we reasonably assume that these doors, which are black, are probably code locks?
It's unusual to have code locks on interior doors within an apartment, if you like, but it could be, depending on what she keeps behind it. There might be code locked.
Well, I'm thinking the door by the loading bay,
Yeah.
for one leading outside, would probably be code locked, wouldn't it?
From the outside, definitely. From the inside, you might be able to just open it.
Okay, well, I'll quickly take a quick look at that loading bay door then and see if there's a
Observation.
a number panel. Do I really need to make an observation roll?
I want you to do an observation roll nonetheless.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, very good. You do notice that there's just an open and close button, but there is a little screen that shows you a picture from outside the door. So you reckon straight outside the door there must be a camera. Like above it in the corner.
Presumably, so that if somebody's coming in from the outside, the person on the inside can confirm it's who they're expecting.
Exactly. Or before you open it, that you don't get any nasty surprises.
Yeah. And that screen may also be repeated, for all we know, in Jar Jar's office or elsewhere in a security office or something. So
It is possible.
Yeah.
But now you know where it's looking. You reckon that if you open the door, you might be able to just duck underneath it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you would have to go basically to the here, straight around the corner to here. The camera
Yep.
is sort of, let me see whether I can draw this.
So there's basically an angle where we could go out and not be seen.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, if you can see that.
Okay. So what we could do is get in the water, then move past that angle, and then come back up onto wherever this particular thing
Potentially.
is.
If you, that's where you want to hide, or you could just hide here for a while.
Yeah. Just thinking aloud. We checked for stasis pods, didn't we? Because we were told they were empty, and we didn't know that.
I told you they were empty. I don't want to fill them now. It would be daft to fill them now. Unless you want to hide in them.
I don't know how they work. I don't know if you just. I don't want to be future Ireland.
It'd be a horrible accident.
In 1,000 years, you wake up. Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad. Let's not risk that.
1,000 years. The batteries don't last so long. So you duck out here.
Well, you never know. With Duracells, they could.
As you come into this basically this is an underground tunnel you're coming into, and this water here is not the best. It's definitely part sewage that's flowing past here. But this would be, because it seems to be underground, it's wide enough for a river barge. So this is like an underground canal. And you just think this would be quite good for moving stuff without being seen.
Yep.
Yes, nicely inconspicuous. Shame about the smell.
Yep.
Suppose people in stasis pods don't mind.
Yep. So I'll whisper very low, it's almost just mouthing it. What do we do now? Do we leg it or do we speak with Jar Jar? And hope she doesn't go, Nisa, no talkie.
Right. We have 20 minutes. Now I have the choice. Either I introduce my finale, which might actually mean rushing you along a bit. Yeah, and taking you away from your preferred way of talking everything out. Or we just say, to hell with that, we just play whatever we play and see how long it takes us and then carry on in 4 weeks.
Well, I'm quite happy to carry on in a few weeks.
Yeah. I
It's
prefer
not
to see how it goes logically instead of rushing things.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine by me then. Just was wondering whether anybody wanted a big payoff for tonight, you know. All right, so I'll leave you out there on the step for a moment, and I'll take us back to the banqueting hall.
Yep.
What happens in the banqueting hall is basically after the speech, people are definitely enthused by it. They like that. That was a good speech. But actually, these young Zenithians you were keeping an eye on, they look a bit grumpy. But they still don't seem to be able to puzzle out what the reason is, the real reason behind this wedding proposal. Because as far as they're concerned, it's very strange. So there is a chance, Tahir, you reckon, if you wanted to basically request a word with the bride father, with Leot, to request an audience. You could try and do that if you wanted to, or you could just see what happens.
I'm thinking requesting an audience. I might be able to I'm thinking letting him know quietly that his son's so-called friends were trying to sabotage him.
Mm-hmm.
Forewarned is forearmed. And he might count it as a favor in the future.
He actually gets up and he is taking a walk around the guests and he's going out of the atrium, and Akuba basically pushes you and says, if you want to speak to him, this is the right time.
Yep. Yeah, my lord. I must compliment you on a wonderful evening.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you could make it. Looks across and says, who's this guy?
I will reveal you to my father when I see him next.
Oh, yes. Who was your father again? Apologies, but don't seem to
I never
recognize
actually
you.
worked out a name for my father. But I can't even remember my own character name. I have an excuse, painkillers. Bashir El Fadil.
El Fadil. Oh, of course, El Fadil. Yeah, and you were quite a celebrity, if I remember correctly.
Yes, the that whole ship disaster.
Yeah, I got a message from a trading partner that you were in town, that we should add you to the guest list. I'm so glad you could make it. Thank you.
Yes. I had to come and say hello and offer courtesies. Talking about courtesies,
Yeah, yes.
your son's friends, are they still there?
My son doesn't friend. Oh, you mean the people he was sitting with?
Yes.
They will be his new cousins, if you like. But I believe they're still around. Yeah.
Yes, I happened to notice in passing that they put something in his drink.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Would you happen to know what it was? Because we do have poison scanners around here.
Now, Opa is not a good thing, is it?
Not
But it's
really.
pretty hard. But it's not particularly, it's not take it once, addicted for life thing.
No, not quite. But it has quite a powerful effect. Or it can have, depending on the formulation.
Yeah, okay. I believe it was Opa. When I served in the Navy, some of the crewmen were caught with it, and it's a smell you don't forget.
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah, well, thank you for alerting me to that.
But we kept, myself and my lovely escort this evening looked after him.
Judicator Kosher, right? And she says, yes, of course, I'm here. And the judge sends her best regards and all that sort of stuff. Is there anything else I can help you with?
PC telepathy. Can anyone think of anything? Fellow PCs, telepathy.
Hello.
I have a brain full of painkillers, so I am a bit fuzzy this evening.
The person you're trying to reach cannot be connected to right now. Something like that.
I think that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, we've heavily hinted that his best buddies are trying to scup a wedding.
Well, you could
All
just
that
say,
right, saying.
yeah, what do you
But
make
they're
of
not his
Article
buddies, are
1?
they? They're his wife's first side of the family, or his to-be wife's.
It's
Bride's side of the family.
Well, how do you expect him to react, really? But you could ask various things. You could say, so, what do you do with the slaves? Or you could say, who is this Salama woman I keep hearing about? Or
Nice to meet you. Now reveal the plot to us.
can you just tell me where you put the emissary? Something like that.
Buy it.
No, I actually think having it as prep for a friend in every port is actually more useful.
All right.
Yeah, we've done a nice thing for him. We're about to do horrible things to his business and stuff, but
So yeah, he thanks you, and thank you very much for coming in. It has been a real pleasure to have you join our merry host today, and I do hope that you're enjoying the food and drink you have available. Make sure you toast the young couple when the wedding is in a few weeks.
Yep. Cool. I just noticed the time.
Okay. Interesting. I thought you were going to be a bit pushier with him, but that's fair enough. As your style is fine.
To hear is subtle. Unless it's on a jetpack.
I just remember you at the control at the helm of a ship flying around some archaeological sites. There was not much subtle about that at all. It's like, oh, if we
What's wrong
can,
with bad archaeology?
if we put the engines this way, then we can just meld the archaeology and see what's underneath it.
It was quick.
Yes, I guess so. So
And it looked really impressive as well.
it did. Aaron and Razak, is there anything else you want to do? I know you're a bit on the at the loose end right now, but is there anything you want to do?
Not like coming off.
No, I can think of.
Need to make sure that we design something into the next one for you. So, back to the setup for a moment. You're standing out on this drafty slipway in the tunnel. And what do you want to do next? How long do you want to wait here?
Now, I've lost the map.
Oh, you want to see the map again, do you?
Sorry, I didn't know if it was me, if it had just vanished. Oh, thank you.
There we are.
I had moved you all back to the banquet hall.
Oh, right. Okay. So, what do you reckon, Save? Do we want to try and sneak out, or do we want to try and question Jar Jar and hope he doesn't trip a silent alarm or something?
Gee.
Gee, regular.
This place doesn't look like it's particularly big on anything, let alone silent alarms.
Well, there's rather a large chunk of technological spare parts. We don't know if she's like to be armed or not, but we could try having a quick chat.
Yep, you're quite persuasive, and I can back you up.
That may, even if she doesn't trip a silent alarm, that means, she could eventually tip off somebody that we've had that there have been intruders asking questions, which might get hackles raised. But yeah, we can ask. Do you want to do that?
Let's give it a go.
Yep.
We can pretend we got lost.
Yes.
So do you want to ring the doorbell, or do you want to sneak back in and basically...
We can pretend we got lost after you hacked into her electronic lock and let us into her area. Yeah.
Yes, we might have to let ourselves out first.
And knock on the door and sort of say, "We got lost. Where are we?"
All right. I'll just say that this door at the bottom where you were standing, you can just open again. So you can sneak through the workshop if you like and sneak through to the front door. Or you can just, you reckon she's probably in number 7 or number 9.
Yeah.
You can hear some noises from back there.
Didn't we hear a door open? So she'd have to be, wouldn't she? Unless she left. But
No, you hear some noises and the door shut. The interior door here shut.
yeah.
So do you want to just walk in on her? Or do you want to wait in the corridor and knock on the door?
Well, should we surprise her and catch her off guard? We can say the door.
Do that. Yep.
So,
We can. You'd have to unlock. Well, unless those doors are unlocked.
those doors are not locked.
Oh, great. Well, in that case, yeah. Let's surprise her.
Just walk in on her. That's what you're saying. Right. Okay. So you walk in on her. There's a woman with a green headscarf. And if you zoom really fine, you can actually see what she looks like. Yeah, right to the hilt, if you like. And yeah, she's hunched over something on the workbench, and she's working on something. She's working on what you think is the stock of a Vulcan carbine in a metal lathe. And she's glancing at the tabula, and it's really far away. But as you step in, she says, "Huh? What are you doing here?" And she sort of swings around. This area is not for other staff.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got a bit mislaid. We just followed the stairs down. Sorry to intrude.
This is my private quarters, my private workshop. You cannot be here.
Oh, I'm so dreadfully sorry. We didn't realise.
What is this place?
This is my workshop. Now get out of here.
You look familiar. Have we met before? Were you up in the? Were you up at the feast?
I was there for a while, but I will not be questioned by minor staff here.
Why not? Who are you?
who are you? You came into my place.
Sorry, my name is not Khalil.
Your name is not clear.
That as well.
I thought it was Kalaf.
Yeah, my name's Niazi. I was hired to work here tonight.
And were you hired to sneak around? Surprise people?
It wasn't in the job description, no.
Yeah, so who are you?
My name is Jar Jar. I'm a household employee here.
That name does ring a bell.
Now get out before I call security.
Are you the one they're going to fire?
You want to try that, do you? Manipulation, then? How many minuses do I give you for that one? 20, 25? Let's do -1. I don't think she's going to be very impressed by that.
Manipulation. -1.
Gosh, still got to. All right, what?
Yeah, I overheard somebody at well, I was the waiter at the top table, and they got rid of me. They were saying something about because they spilt some wine. They tried to blame it on me, and then they said something about the servants were usually the ones that you could put any blame on. And one of the guys said something about something's been going wrong with some kind of chamber issue, and they said they were thinking of bringing in somebody more experienced.
She does
That
seem a
wasn't
little
you,
bit
was it?
nervous with that, but the story doesn't stack up. Can you both do me an observation, please?
+0 or any negatives?
Just straight as they come, straight and normal. Between you, you've got 1 success. Look at that. Kelly, you do notice that other than weapons, she also seems to be making ammunition there. That's all you notice at this point.
You do seem very, very good with your hands. I'm surprised they're even speculating about the possibility of getting rid of you.
I'm surprised you're allowed this workshop. And they were checking everybody for guns on the way in.
I'm an honored servant of this household. Now, would you please leave me in peace?
Well, servant perhaps, not so sure about honoured, but yep, sorry to have bothered you. Our mistake, we'll be on our way.
And she sort of ushers you out.
Oh, there is one thing I forgot to ask. Sorry.
Yes,
I
Inspector
am
Columbo.
so sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. Just one more thing, if you wouldn't mind. That'd be very appreciated. What's with that poor animal in the cage? Is it ill? I'm very protective of animals. I hope you're not mistreating it.
No, it has been a danger for everybody here, so we needed to cage it, and we're trying to heal it from its
sorry to hear
infectious disease.
Oh my goodness, infectious.
Do make sure you don't get close to it.
Oh, well, we did have we were a bit close. Do you need to call a medic or something? I mean, are we going to be okay? It didn't bite us or anything, but
I'm sure you will be fine. Now, get out of here. If you get a rash, you might as well kill yourself. Now, get out of here.
Oh, I'll start scratching. I do feel a bit itchy. Are you sure it's safe?
Yeah, it doesn't jump from human to human.
Oh, that's a relief. I wouldn't want to infect anyone, especially not since we're quite close at this point.
Yeah, as I'm leaving, I will comment that this is a really disappointing rug.
I've got a nicer rug if you'd like it.
Really faded. You should replace that.
I don't care much for soft furnishings. I know some people do, but for me, my work is what counts.
Killer. She insulted the blessed soft energy.
So
Right.
I'll just continue talking as we leave. Can you believe that? She probably doesn't even own a cushion.
It's shocking. I mean, I didn't see any kind of soft furnishings at all,
Oh,
apart from the giant slippers.
no, I'm getting a little bit tired, I have to admit. It's been an absolutely crazy few weeks, so I think we might call it a night there.
I was just wondering if we should just punch her out and take the time to search her office.
You can do that, or you can do that when we come back in about 4 weeks' time.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it.
Happy to punch out. Punch out.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can tell me that next time, what you want to
Yep.
do. Whether you just want to turn around and rush her, or whether you just want to walk off silently.
Well, she was like effectively pushing us out, so
Yeah, she's very
she's
close
close
behind
enough
you.
that we can just turn and soccer one.
You probably could, yes. You probably
Yep.
would surprise her.
Yep.
Now, the woman in the green headscarf, by the way, was mentioned before by the slave boy you rescued. Little hint, you probably didn't pick up on that.
Nope.
Yeah, as basically putting the bandage on and say, don't take that off. Make sure that they think that you're injured, and then you'll not be sold to the monolith.
Oh, really? Well, that would have made a difference if I'd remembered that one.
Well,
That's something we can play on next time.
you could play on that if you like. Yeah. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah. It's just one more thing, sir, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. All right, let's leave it at that one. Yeah, it was a bit bitty. Now, I was really looking forward to the grand finale, but it would take another 45 minutes or so now, I reckon, to do it justice.
Sorry, I know we're rubbish.
No, don't worry about it. It's a game for everybody at their pace, and just because we have a short block coming doesn't mean we have to rush the end of the long block, because we're all coming back, I hope. So,
Yep, I'm up for it.
experience points. You all participated. Did you overcome a difficult challenge? Today it was very talky. But do you think you did a difficult challenge? Anybody?
Well, we managed to talk our way into a maximum security event.
Yeah, you did. But you basically just called in a favor, didn't you, or two?
I got in with my security tablet, much to my surprise.
It was quite good.
That was quite good. Okay, that could be a difficult challenge you overcame there. Smuggling that in on the second row. Did you learn something new about yourself or another PC? You might have learned that Tahir is a quite impressive dancer.
That's true.
Well, I thought we knew that.
Pretty.
Yeah. Did you put yourself or your crew at risk because of a personal problem? Don't think you did this time.
No.
No sacrificing either. And did you act in accordance with your icon?
Yes, we have lots of plans and stuff. That fits on my side.
I don't
Yeah.
think really there's anything for the judge for me to fit on.
Yeah, compromise your values for the sake of justice. Did you act to bring justice to others? Did you settle an argument? Not really settled it. You were part of an argument, but you didn't settle it.
I enjoy arguments.
I know. All right. So how many is that? 3,
Right, yeah.
2, 1, 2 for the difficult challenge, and then depending whether you got any extras.
I think that's 2 for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got 2.
Okay.
It takes me to 10, so that's a nice even number.
It is a nice number because you can buy 2 things for that.
So, Frank,
Yeah?
has it been long enough for me to get rid of my penalty on my arm?
How many days was that?
Not sure. I've actually lost track.
We
That's
did
where I
2d6, didn't we, at the time? I think it was something like 10 days. That was about 6 days so far. You haven't lost it yet, no. The penalty, I mean, not the arm. You
I'm
have lost
definitely
it.
going to look at getting a weapon implant or something for it, I think.
Right, because it was just a couple of days before the cyclade. So that's 7 days ago you reckon that you had the arm fitted. So let's call it another 3.
Okay.
On the 8th of the messenger, if you want to put a note down somewhere.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to spend a point in infiltration. I spent so much time sneaking around.
Fair enough, fair enough. Now at this point, I'm just going to put the finish screen on.